You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
Hey, yeah, I think we're back up on our social medias. I think the video feed anyway. We had to pull that down for a minute. My apologies, but I think we're back up and going. Dream for We Foundation Radiothon continues, folks. We have been here all day long. We have been here since 6 a.m. We're going to be here until 6 p.m. Still taking your donations. I think last check we're up to about $9,700. So it just continues to come in, and we're thankful for that. And we want to really push it up over the last few hours. I've got 30 minutes left, and then Tiffany's going to host the last 3 hours of the day. But we really want to push and get those numbers up. Holly, just a reminder of where we're at. Maybe we got a minute, so let's run down everybody who's helped us today.
All right, let me get to the top of the list.
There's been a lot.
Yeah. So to start off the day, we had an anonymous donation of $1,000. So that was a big, huge.
Great starter.
Yeah, great starter. Terry Weaver, Gary Nestor, Jessica Addison, Amy Whitsitt, the Jackson family, Rachel Williams, the Vincents, the Clutters, Trey Adcock. He's done a lot today for us as far as food, and he's also donated. The Normans, Kate Bryant, Heather Phillips, Denton Jones, Pam Sims, Tammy and Richard Harrington over at Interstate Liquors, and they issued kind of a challenge to any aunts and uncles out there. If you've got a niece or nephew that play a sport, in honor of them, they challenge you to call in and donate money. Lee and Laura Nettles, Amelia and Hudson Parker, Jay and Jen Nagadula, Lindsay and Nolan Reidner, Jay Trussler, Katie Whaley over at Wisteria Hill Boutique donated. Callie Millaway, everybody knows Nurse Callie. Kevin Rowe, Holly Johnson, she's going to be joining us next segment. Shantae Gilly and the Gilly family, we appreciate them. Old Chad Hatfield and Camille, thank them. We thank them for their donation. I lost my place. All those names. All right, I found it. Misty Crossland, Carrie Byram, Coffee County Bank, Sage Keel, Eli Kidder, Daphne Gregg, Kathy Freeze, David Clark, Janice Shelton, Amanda Bryan, Clint Pika, Milton Harrell, Steve Jernigan, Allison Chumley, Michelle Rink, Justin Cougar. We appreciate his donation. Olivia Evans Gig. Everybody remembers Gig when she played softball here. Christy and Scotty Peterson, Lori Perry and Judge Perry. Wendy Patton, one of our guests today. Carmine Family Dental, of course, did $500 match. Carter Sane, Janice Talley, Southern Patriot Firearms, and 232 Storage. That came with this little stipulation of a date with Wendy Patton. So everybody, that's a win-win for everybody. Joey Vaughn, Dr. Vaughn, Daryl Welch. He's with Harton Realty. That was kind of like a challenge issued from Steve Jernigan and Daryl.
Get some Telehoma people on board.
Yeah, Daryl answered. So big thanks to them. Connie Moore, she brought by a donation and cookies. So you can bring your donation by and try one of Connie's cookies. Joe Pat Cope, First Steps Preschool. Carrie Pippinger, the McQuarters, Gov and Stacy McQuarter donated a big $350. Julie Keel, Renee Asher, Josh and Ann Taylor with Fiber New, Dustin and Aaron Murray. We heard from both of them recently. Thanks to them for their donations. Jack Owens, Don Harrell, Jake Freeze stopped by and hand delivered $100. Sue Wilson, Unity Medical Center, Michael Barnes, Philip Chesser, that's a Manchester. That's not a Telehoma Chesser. Carrie Cope, Natalie Brown. The customers that were eating lunch over at Oak Market, they pulled their change together and they donated $50. And also Amy Keel called in and donated $100. So long list. Thank you guys for all the donations so far. Again, we are up to 9,680.
Yeah, I think. See, last year, our first year to do this, we had about 103 or 104 donors throughout the day. This year we have had 87 or 84. So we're kind of right there on pace. We still got a few hours left. So hopefully we can add more people to that. So pick up the phone, give us a call, and let's get you on that donor list. No amount's too small. $5, $10, that's great. $20, that's awesome. $100, we'll take that too. 728-1320. That's 728-1320. Be glad to have you on and talk to you, or not talk to you, but have you on board with our donations today. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Holly Johnson will join us. Dream for We Foundation Radiothon continues. We're here until 6.
You are listening to the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer laying out his plans for Israel after the war in Gaza. He wants new elections in the Israeli state. Minority Leader Mitch McConnell on Capitol Hill. You on board with that?
Israel's unity government and security cabinet deserve the deference befitting a sovereign democratic country.
Schumer also calling for a two-state solution there with Israel. Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders, he's putting out a bill that would shrink the work week from 40 hours to 32 hours with no loss of pay. United Auto Workers President Sean Fain says he thinks union members feel the extra work they've done has led to regret.
They never say, I wish I would have worked more. When people reach the end of their lives, they never say, I wish I'd have made more money. What they wish for is they wish they had more time.
President Biden spending his time in Saginaw, Michigan today for a campaign event. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, another update from the WMSR Thunder Radio News Center.
With your daily free news update from Thunder Radio, I'm Tiffany Clutter, and this news update is brought to you by Spring Street Market, 801 South Spring Street in Manchester, open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And here's today's news update. Commodities are set to be distributed in Manchester. There's an open house at TCAT McMinnville. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has sent National Guard to the U.S. southern border. Roger Chambers has been appointed to the Coffee County Commission seat number 2. Find more details to these news stories and so much more by going to our website, thunder1320.com. Doritos extra large bag, Hawaiian slider roll tray, Hungry Man entrees. All these items are on sale this week at Spring Street Market. See the terrific sales ad at thunder1320.com.
People's Bank of Trust in Manchester. Present your daily sports blast on Thunder Radio. I'm Josh Peterson. 2 Coffee County pitchers combined for a no-hitter, and the Lady Raider softball team easily dispatched of Spring Hill in their district opener on Wednesday, March the 13th. Game you heard live on Thunder Radio. Lily Norman was basically perfect in her 3 innings in the circle, striking out all 9 Spring Hill batters she saw. Caitlin Anderson tossed a clean inning in relief. Offensively, Coffee County pounded out 13 hits, including 6 extra base hits. High school boys tennis got a 6-1 win over Franklin County on Wednesday. Girls tennis falling 3-4. Coffee Middle School baseball falling to Stewart's Creek in non-conference action 11-6. And coming up Thursday night, Coffee County High School baseball will be at Middle Tennessee Christian at 7 o'clock. Coffee Middle School softball hosting Franklin County. Middle School tennis will be hosting Moore County. Westwood baseball will be hosting Winchester Christian. Westwood softball will be at Community. And high school soccer will be at Shelbyville. More sports at thunder1320.com.
Now from Thunder Radio WMSR, your latest local weather.
Sunny with a high in the upper 70s today. Overnight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms with increasing clouds and a low around 60 degrees. Being a better you isn't a New Year's resolution. It's a lifetime commitment. Nutritional meal planning available at Workout Anytime. $1 enrollment if you mention Thunder Radio at Workout Anytime behind Zaxby's in Manchester. I'm Jackson Ham from the Thunder Radio Weather Center.
Join Thunder Radio and the Dream for We Foundation for our annual Radiothon, Thursday, March 14th, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Getting Kids in the Game Radiothon will be a lively all-day event raising funds to support the nonprofit foundation and its mission of providing Coffee County athletes with the scholarships, necessary gear, and registration fees so that anyone who wants to play sports in Coffee County has the opportunity. You can make the difference on Thursday, March 14th, only on Thunder Radio.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
Rolling along today, the Dennis Weaver Dream for We Foundation Radiothon. It has been a busy day. Nearly $10,000 in donations have come in for the foundation today. Holly has got an update on that. We're going to go over to her.
The lovely Holly Johnson just came in and brought 2 more donations
Oh,
from
nice.
colleagues.
They were from people that I know from work and
Okay.
around the
Yeah.
community.
So Philip Anderson, thank you, and Jerry and Hilda Tunstall. They both donated $50, so that put us up $100 more bucks.
How about that? We'll take it. Every little bit counts, and we do appreciate them for doing that. Thank you to Philip, Jerry, and Hilda for making that happen. So now we're up in the 98-ish, 9,900 range. So really close to punching through 10,000. And we still got the rest of this 2 o'clock hour, the 3, the 4, and the 5 o'clock hours today. So all the money raised will go to the Dennis Weaver Dream for We Foundation, a 501c3. And that foundation putting so much money back into the community in terms of sports, whether it's scholarships for athletes headed off to college or tech school, or the financial assistance for young men or young boys and girls who just don't have the money to play travel ball or have the money to get new cleats or running shoes. We've spent a lot of money on that. Purchased some this past year. We purchased a year's supply of contacts for an athlete who did not have the money to do that, and he didn't want to wear his glasses when he was playing sports. Didn't want to end up getting those broken. So we've done that. So that's what the We Foundation does. It goes around helping kids get in the game. That's the whole point of it. And we're joined now by Holly Johnson. Good morning or afternoon. It's been a long day. Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. How about you?
Doing good. I really would have loved to seen Anna. What's she doing?
She is on spring break. She's
Spring
doing
break.
some substitute teaching.
Oh.
She's at Tennessee Tech on studying to be an elementary school teacher.
And that's what she was doing. She substitute teaches enough. She may change her mind.
Well, she
I'm
may.
a little concerned about that.
That is concerning, but it's it's a way of making money
Sure.
and seeing how her job's going to be.
What age is she substitute teaching for?
She did kindergarten yesterday. So, yes. And she went to College Street back to her old school and all the teachers were there and excited to see her. And I think that she has Fridays off from at Tech. And so she may get some jobs while she is last few weeks of her semester.
Well, I was, when I first got into college about 18 or 19, that's what I was doing. I was going to go to be a teacher. And then my very first year, I came at the end of the school year, I did some substitute teaching, and they put me in middle school, and I quickly changed my mind. I was like, I can't do that anymore.
I understand it. When I was on a break for a physical therapy school, I did substitute teaching for about 5 weeks, and it was kind of funny because I'd catch the students doing something, I'd call them out on it, and they'd be like, "How do you know?" I'm like, "I was in middle school.
Yeah, I'm not dumb.
I'm not dumb.
I wasn't born yesterday.
That's
I've been that
right.
age."
The best was a guy that had on a Tommy Hilfiger shirt.
Okay.
And so I didn't know his name because they didn't leave a seating chart, and I was trying to get his attention because he was talking and he was interrupting. I said, "Hey, Tommy."
Nice.
And his name was Tommy. I was like,
Nailed
what's
it.
the luck?
Nailed it.
So,
Was he like perplexed that you knew his name?
he was. But I mean, all the rest of the kids really sat up and thought, whoa, she knows what she's doing.
Pay attention. She knows what's happening.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks for coming by. You were now, as Jen mentioned, I don't know if you got to hear Jen Keel earlier.
I did not get to hear her.
Well, she made sure to let us know you're much older than she is.
I am, and that's okay.
Yeah, she made sure to really drive that home. She kept doing it.
I just talked to Jen on the way over here, and we were talking about some different things. And I said, "Jen, I don't know if you know it, but you broke one of my records." And she was like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, that somebody had told me when she was playing ball, I had the most stolen bases until Jen came along."
And she broke your stolen base record.
She did. So, oh well, that's okay.
No, that's a good thing. You want those records to break over time.
Oh, absolutely.
Hopefully somebody's broken it since then. I don't know if she's still got that or not. I hope so.
Honestly, I didn't even know I held the record until somebody told me.
Yeah.
So,
well, weren't you on like one of the first teams? You probably had to have the record.
I was on the first team.
Yeah. So you pretty much had to have the record.
Absolutely.
Nobody did it before.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, you had the first record.
That's right. I was original. I'm telling you, I was OG.
So you're the OG. You were on the first team
ever
before breeding.
Before breeding.
So that first year, it was
Kathy Lee was our coach.
And it was like a 1-win kind of season.
We beat Tullahoma.
If you're going to beat anybody, beat Tullahoma.
Tullahoma, that's right.
Nothing's changed
Exactly.
in softball. They just still keep beating up on them. I love to stir it up a little bit. Somebody over there will take that the wrong way, but we play them Sunday, actually. I think.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, over their place. So talk about that first year. And I guess, the first year and then where softball is now. Like if you go back there and look at what they've got, like this, you're in the unique position to be like, hey, I was here. Or you weren't there, but I was on this team. We played over at the T-ball field, but I was here when it started.
We were not at the T-ball field. I never played at the T-ball field.
You played at the men's field?
Senior league.
You played the senior league
at the Dave King Park.
Okay.
We were that if a hit got past that outfield, it was a home run.
So you didn't even play at the T-ball field.
I didn't even get the luxury of playing at the T-ball team. Field. Yeah.
So
we had a lot of great girls that had played slow pitch and had played travel ball for years. And we were great softball players, but we had never seen fast pitch ever. And so the first fast pitch game I ever saw, I was playing in.
Yeah. So you never even watched one?
No, because it wasn't on TV back then.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Yeah. So like I said, it was beyond kind of our imagination. But we travel. The best story I have to explain how bad we were was we traveled to Oakland, our very first game, playing Oakland at Oakland. And first batter gets up, 3 pitches, sets down.
Yeah.
Second batter gets up, 3 pitches, sets down. I was the third batter. I had 2 pitches, 2 strikes. Third ball comes at me, and I'm gonna swing because I'm not gonna go down standing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swing. And I'm walking over to the dugout, and the umpire says foul tip, and I look at him like, seriously? And our entire stands, everyone on our bleachers stands up and says, way to make contact, way to make contact. That's how bad we were.
Yeah.
But Coach Breeden came in and Coach Weave came in the very next year and took us from a 1-win season to coming in second in the district.
That's quite the switch.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a switch. When you think about how remarkable that is, I think, all right, if you went now and just got and coached a team, whatever team, let's just say a softball team, and let's just say they were not good, they finished last, and you took them and finished second, that would be a feat. But chances are those girls have played softball. They've played in middle school and travel ball. They just weren't very good, or they didn't have the right coaching, or nothing came together, or whatever. It's still a great feat. But they came in and took a group of girls who had 1 year of fast pitch experience and were able to win. And that I'm not able to wrap my brain around that.
Yeah, it was crazy. And we also had that second year that we played, that Breeden and Weave came in, we had Allison Sane Chumley and we had Michelle Duncan Taylor that were our pitchers.
Okay.
And that totally was
pitching changes things.
Absolutely. And Travis Hillis' sister, Tanya Hillis, who played shortstop a lot, Breeden put her as catcher, and she was a phenomenal catcher. She was a really phenomenal catcher. And when you got a battery as good as those 3 girls were, that's the difference maker.
I love when people use terms like battery. People don't say that much anymore.
Oh yeah.
I don't have people be like, oh, the battery. I'm like, I know what that is, but I don't hear that much. So I guess it's getting people in the right position.
Absolutely.
Some of it is.
Absolutely. So we had, like I said, we had really great girls that, and we had great athletes because I was the class of 92. So the 93 girls were behind me that basketball, just about everybody played softball too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's really great. Now, when did they go to the T-ball field? When was that switch?
That was after me.
So you didn't get to play any games there?
No. I played every single game, a home game at the big, huge field on the
Dave King side. Mm-hmm. So you could not let it get past you in the outfield. That had to be a point of emphasis.
Absolutely. And I remember there were times after games where, let's just say Breeden was a little bit rough on us.
Okay, yeah.
Because he knew if it was past us, like I said, it was a home run. There's no other way around it. And so if you missed, for every ball you missed, we would have, let's just say, fielding practice after games that we didn't perform as well. And once you missed a ball, that was 50 push-ups. So you used every body part you had to knock a ball down.
Knock that ball down.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, how many push-ups?
Most I ever had to do, and it was a game. It was the field was so wet, and the ball would skid. So the most I had to do, I think, was 250 push-ups.
That's a lot of push-ups.
That is. My wrists were hurting. Definitely.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
I've got arms of a runner, which means you don't have arms.
I've not heard that term. Arms of a runner.
Yeah.
Now, do you still run a lot? Are you still active? No, you got
Well,
hurt. I knew you got hurt.
I got hurt. So I actually started running back this week, and
This week,
just this week,
Okay.
and that injury was back in September. If that tells you how long I've
I
been
knew
off.
it was bad. Was it hamstring?
It was a complete rupture of the hamstring tendon off the bone. So yeah,
that's a bad one.
That was a bad one. I didn't realize how bad it was until it happened. So
yeah,
but it's better now. It's a lot better now.
Good. Well, we're glad to hear that, and maybe you do some more. You could have done some push-ups during your time off. Worked on the arms. No. Pass on that. Some good Dennis Weaver stories. Now he was an outfield coach, so you must have worked with him quite a bit.
Yes, he was an outfield coach, and he was the fun. I always say that
everybody said he's the good cop.
Yeah, he was the good cop of the good cop back up, and Breeden was always the serious business side, and Weave was just the fun, and he always made it fun, and he always Breeden would get mad at us about something, and We've always knew how to lighten the situation and how to keep us, keep it light. Yeah. So one game I remember in particular, I had fielded the ball and I threw it as hard as I could to Tanya Hillis, who was playing catcher. And I mean, as soon as I let go of it, as soon as the ball was gone, Breeden yells out, "Holly, hit your cutoff man." Yeah. And obviously I didn't because I was shooting for the moon. Anyways, let's just say Tanya tagged her out at home. So it ended up turning out very well, but We've had my back. He always had my back on things and always told me if I felt like I could do it, go for it, swing for the fences on that.
Yeah. So, well, you threw her out.
I did. So
you look at Coach Breeden and be like, well, what do you know?
Yeah. No, never, ever.
We wouldn't do that.
Not at all.
Well, it's always good to hear the Dennis Weaver stories. You do a lot for the softball program, in the 90s and just building it up to what it is now. And all day long, I've talked to different people about, you just wonder if the kids today understand just how good they have it.
Oh, yeah.
Just how much they're standing on everybody else's shoulders a little bit. Absolutely.
Absolutely. All the people that came before. I mean, that's how we felt.
It's like that in everything.
Yeah, it's very true. Very, very true. When I look at, some of the kids that I played ball with, you don't realize where girls' sports were, even in the 70s. Think about the 70s where girls' sports were to the 80s. I mean, I hear it all the time. They didn't think that girls could play 5-on-5 basketball.
Yeah, it took a while before they switched from 6-on-6 to 5-on-5.
Yeah, because I get asked that a lot. Did you ever play the 6-on-6? I'm like, no, that's before my time.
You were not quite that old.
But I mean, just like the Boston Marathon, when they the girl had to run it illegally because they didn't think a woman could run 26 miles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy how sports have come along.
Yeah, really, the 90s. You go from the 90s up, I think is really kind of the evolution of, and I think you can line a lot of that up. And I'm about to get off into a history situation that I probably ought not speak on because I may not know enough about it. But really, when you look at what Pat Summitt did with women's basketball through that era, the 80s, 90s, and softball really started to rise, like women's sports really started to rise. It seemed like with that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm sure there were other factors that I'm not thinking about, but when that all seems to kind of coincide with one another. So, and we're glad they are where they are because we love covering the girls, whether it's softball or basketball or volleyball. It's always a ton of fun. Now you still got one more coming through.
I do. Amelia, she's at my volleyball and basketball.
She's in the 8th grade?
She's in the 7th.
So we got one more year for her at Westwood.
Yeah.
And then she moves on up.
Yeah, we just got through with travel volleyball, and she loved. Volleyball tends to be her sport, kind of like sister. So
yeah, that was what she did. So she's enjoying. She's getting taller. I saw her the other day, and she's gotten taller.
Yes. I
was like, is that my eyes, or she really?
She really has gotten taller. I don't think that she'll be as tall as Anna, so she probably has more of a chance as a setter.
Okay.
No middle hitter for her. No,
probably not.
No.
Well, she's very good at what she does, so we look forward to seeing her develop over the years. Well, thanks for coming by. We still got another minute or two before we get you out of here. But now Anna was one of the beneficiaries of some scholarship money last year.
She was a beneficiary of the volleyball part, and also for the regular Dream for Weave scholarship fund. And I will tell you, so appreciative because college is so very expensive.
It is.
And being a teacher, it's not like she's going to come out making a huge salary to be able to cover the cost of college.
She will not.
Right. And when you look at college, it's going to cost more than what she makes as an annual salary as a teacher. I mean, you got to start looking at the cost benefit of that too.
Yeah.
So scholarship money is vital to help for that.
Yeah.
So that's and all the kids that benefit from sports. I got to tell you, one of the donations I brought in, I got to do a shout out to Philip Anderson. So he's in his 90s, and he listened to y'all Saturday.
Did he?
Yes, he sure did. Was that Saturday?
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah,
Friday. So he is a huge supporter of Manchester sports and girls basketball, and he was very excited to be able to find it on the radio because he said, he can't he's in his 90s, so he can't go to a game in person, but he really loved listening to it on the radio.
Good.
So.
Well, tell Philip we're glad to have brought it to him and glad he listened in, and that's kind of why you do it, right? You want
absolutely.
to be able to bring that back and broadcast your hometown sports. And I wanted to bring up Anna getting some of that scholarship money just because we've done that all day with the people, who've received that, whether it's, Luke, who was in here a minute ago, or Abby, and, some of those people that have gotten scholarship money, because we want people to know, that money coming to the foundation is going out to a really good cause. It's going out to help kids get through college. KB Patton will come in next hour. She's going to cosmetology school. It's been a big help for her. Some of these, kids are getting, this money. Abby Clark is going to be able to study abroad because of that,
wow.
She's going to go next semester and do that. So people have gotten really good, really good benefits from that. And we want people to be able to help at 728-1320. Somebody tell my operator the phone's ringing, and maybe she'll pick it up on line 1.
Keep those calls coming in.
Ashley, answer the phone. There we go. It says operators are standing by, but they're not always staring at the phone. I have to sometimes get onto them. But I think last time somebody called, they were calling in a birthday. So,
Oh, yeah.
Normal radio practices are still continuing. We get swap and shop calls, and we still get birthday calls.
Swap and shop. I hear it a lot.
Yeah. Somebody was mad earlier that it's not on 24/7. And I was like, well, sorry. It's just not how it's going to go.
You're not going to man the phones for 24/7?
No, they were like, it's not on all day. And I was like, no, you think that's what we do all day long? It's not. But I really like, do people care? Do people care what we do? They just want swap and shop.
That's too funny.
We get another donation. All right, Holly's coming in here. The other Holly, I would say the original Holly. My Holly is coming in, and
I was gonna say I'm definitely older.
Yeah,
so
you're the OG on that one. You're the first Holly. I think she's wanting to add more to the donation sheet, so I'm hoping we can get pushed up over that $10,000 range. Oh, so somebody's asking how close we are, I think, to 10,000.
Yeah, I think people don't realize how expensive sports are, though. I mean, with player fees and for all the maintenance that you need and all the different equipment, does people realize how much softball bats and baseball bats cost? I mean, it's crazy how much they cost if you get a really good bat.
Everything is so expensive. So, we have one that does cheer, and that is an incredibly expensive sport. Did not realize what I was getting into with that. I was like, oh, good, cheerleader. That wouldn't be too bad. No, of course. I mean, everything is so expensive. And, a good baseball bat, that's $400,
Absolutely.
And we've been able to help. We bought some cleats for some kids who could not afford cleats. And we try to be very discreet about that. We don't, we're not going to embarrass anybody or make a big show or take a picture and put it on Facebook. We're just going to sneak those cleats into their locker with a little note that says, have a good season. And that's it. We don't need any recognition. We'll do those kind of things from the foundation, but we have to know about them. So people need to be sure to let us know about those things. All right, Holly, do we have an update? Other Holly, do we have an update here?
Yes. Brian Sizemore called in, actually still on the phone right now. He asked, how far are we from 10 grand? We said 220. He said, I'll cover it.
Oh,
220 from the Sizemore.
All right.
Another coworker. We're mentioning all my coworkers here today.
I know. How about that? But see, that's good. We brought in Holly here. She's got the whole team listening in. They're bringing in that money.
Yeah, for sure.
So we crossed the $10,000 mark.
Yep.
How about that?
That's awesome.
Yes. And look, you were here for that. How about that? Woohoo! And here we got, look, this next hour, the 3:00 hour, we have a $500 match. So your Rosa is going to match $500. So every donation up to $500 is a match. So that should be $1,000 hour all day long. 4:00, Reese's Jeans Boutique, same thing, $500 match. That should be we should get to $12,000. I feel like that should be the case today.
That's awesome.
But we got to push through, folks. Call your friends, call your neighbors, gather up $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever you can spare. Let's make it happen right here on the Radiothon. We're here until 6:00. for the Dream for Weave Foundation. Holly, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is always a lot of fun.
It is. We're going to have to be. We're going to bring you in all the time. We may bring you in as a guest morning show host. You do good on the radio.
Oh goodness.
Did you take a picture right as she made that look?
I was gonna say, what did you?
Holly was taking a picture right as she made that look. Show her that.
Oh, don't show me.
No, I want to see it because it was the most disgusted look.
Well, this morning I told Amelia, I was like, "Listen, I'm gonna be on the radio. I have to look good."
Watch it. Wait a minute.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna do the live. Watch.
Oh, let me do a different one. How about that one?
Wait a minute.
Nice. All right. Well,
I got that one.
yeah,
Okay,
we'll
good.
get a better
That's good.
picture of her. All right. Phones are open. 728-1320. You can call during the break. Operators are standing by. Next hour, I'm stepping out. Tiffany's going to step in. She's going to host the 3, the 4, and the 5. I will be back as a guest, though. I get to sit on the other side of the table. I'm excited about that.
That's fun.
Although my voice, I don't know if I can handle it. Matches next hour from your Rosu, $500. KB Patton's going to come by. She is incredibly sweet and fun. Y'all are going to love talking to her or listening to her. I'll be on also at 3. Richard Skipper and Andrew Taylor at 4. Just some heavy hitters. And then the 5 o'clock hour, Terry Weaver's going to be on. And then hopefully Carrie Munn will be in. She's got practice at MTSU. She texted me and said, I might be a little late. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see if we can make it happen. All right, Holly, good job.
Thank you.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall.
To Garrettson, top of the key, over the top to Vincent. Shot up. Good,
When
fellow
the
Vincent.
water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay.
Now you're starting to sound like my husband.
Well, I've been trained as a husband.
And it hurts so bad. Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all.
Gets to the 10, to the 15, gets to the sideline. C.J. Anthony's got one man to beat. He's being chased, zigzagging in the middle of the field, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown. No flags on the play. 98-yard touch.
Swear I live.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. Broadcasting from the Unity Medical Center studios. This is Thunder Radio, WMSR, 1320 AM, 107.9 FM, and worldwide at Thunder1320. Now, another update from the WMSR Thunder Radio News Center.
With your daily free news update from Thunder Radio, I'm Tiffany Clutter, and this news update is brought to you by Spring Street Market, 801 South Spring Street in Manchester, open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And here's today's news update. Commodities are set to be distributed in Manchester. The South Central Human Resources Agency has announced that the U.S. Department of Agriculture will distribute commodities on Thursday, March the 21st. Eligible area residents are invited to attend on a first-come, first-served basis, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. The distribution will be held at the Ada Wright Center, 328 North Woodland Street in Manchester. Eligibility will be based on total household income that is within the income guidelines. Anyone receiving aid from one of the following programs is eligible for USDA commodities: SNAP, Families First, SSI, LIHEAP, or proof of residency in public housing. There's an open house at TCAT McMinnville. The Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, in McMinnville is excited to announce an open house event at the McMinnville campus at 241 Votech Drive in McMinnville on March 19th from 4 to 6 p.m. Participants can take a tour of the campus, tour the programs, and meet the instructors. Learn more about the programs offered and enter to win door prizes. For additional information on the full range of programs, visit tcatmcminnville.edu. TCAT McMinnville offers 12 career and technical education programs in a broad range of high-demand, high-wage fields at affordable tuition rates. Many students attend tuition-free through Tennessee Promise for new high school graduates and TCAT Reconnect for adults with no college degree or other post-secondary credential. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has sent National Guard to the U.S. southern border. The governor recently visited Tennessee National Guard soldiers at the Millington, Tennessee Army National Guard Armory ahead of their deployment to the nation's southern border in the wake of the most severe border crisis the United States has experienced in decades. The governor posted on social media, quote, "As America faces the most severe border crisis in decades, Tennessee is showing the rest of the country what it means to lead. Today, I join the Tennessee National Guard members who will soon deploy on a voluntary mission to secure the southern border as the federal government fails to act," end quote. Last month, Governor Lee committed to deploying 2 waves of state active duty soldiers to Texas to assist in their efforts as the Tennessee Department of Military continues to coordinate with Texas to determine areas of greatest need. This is the first deployment of approximately 50 Tennessee National Guard members who volunteered to join Operation Lone Star. Find out more about this story at our website. Go to thunder1320.com. Roger Chambers has been appointed to the Coffee County Commission seat number 2. At the March 12th Coffee County Commission meeting, a unanimous vote by the commission appointed Roger Chambers to the seat number 2 of the Coffee County Commission. The seat was vacated by the death of Coffee County Commissioner Claude Morse last fall. Commissioner Dennis Hunt had this to say.
We addressed this issue at our last meeting, and we postponed the appointment to the vacancy because of the primary election process was such a short time away. We felt like the people in that community, in that district, would make their choice at the polls, and they did so. Mr. Chambers won the primary, which means he will be officially certified as the commissioner for that seat in August. But we are going to have to appoint him tonight to fill the vacancy until which time the election commission certifies his position.
Commissioner Chambers was sworn in and immediately took his seat on the commission. Find more details to these news stories and so much more by going to our website, thunder1320.com. Doritos extra large bag, Hawaiian slider roll tray, Hungry Man entrees. All these items are on sale this week at Spring Street Market. See the terrific sales ad at thunder1320.com.
People Think I Trust to Manchester. Present your daily sports blast on Thunder Radio. I'm Josh Peterson. 2 Coffee County pitchers combined for a no-hitter, and the Lady Raider softball team easily dispatched of Spring Hill in their district opener on Wednesday, March the 13th. Game you heard live on Thunder Radio. Lily Norman was basically perfect in her 3 innings in the circle, striking out all 9 Spring Hill batters she saw. Caitlin Anderson tossed a clean inning in relief. Offensively, Coffee County pounded out 13 hits, including 6 extra base hits. High school boys tennis got a 6-1 win over Franklin County on Wednesday. Girls tennis falling 3-4. Coffee Middle School baseball falling to Stewart's Creek in non-conference action 11-6. And coming up Thursday night, Coffee County High School baseball will be at Middle Tennessee Christian at 7 o'clock. Coffee Middle School softball hosting Franklin County. Middle School tennis will be hosting Moore County. Westwood baseball will be hosting Winchester Christian. Westwood softball will be at Community. And high school soccer will be at Shelbyville. More sports at thunder1320.com.
When you miss the Coffee Coaches Show every Saturday from Al White Ford Lincoln, you miss a little fun, like this.
Personal question time. What is your go-to guilty pleasure song? Jalen?
I don't know the name, but it's like, I was made for loving you, babe.
Keep singing. This is good. It's a new commercial. Congratulations, you just made a commercial.
The Coffee Coaches Show every Saturday, 10 to 11 from Al White Ford Lincoln, only on Thunder Radio.
Now from Thunder Radio WMSR, your latest local weather.
Sunny with a high in the upper 70s today. Overnight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms with increasing clouds and a low around 60 degrees. Being a better you isn't a New Year's resolution. It's a lifetime commitment. Nutritional meal planning available at Workout Anytime. $1 enrollment if you mention Thunder Radio at Workout Anytime behind Zaxby's in Manchester. I'm Jackson Ham from the Thunder Radio Weather Center.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
Thanks for tuning into your hometown station, Thunder Radio. We are fresh, live, and local, and having a thrilling Thunder Radio Thursday. Tiffany here inside the Thunder Studios for the Dream for Weave Radiothon, which is, I don't think, really a word. KB Patton is with us. Kara Beth. Who calls you Kara Beth?
Well, my name is Kara Beth, but more people call me KB than Kara Beth. So
Gotcha.
You'll hear more people say KB.
Okay, so I watched you walk into the radio station, and you're this beautiful young woman, and I instantly went back to when you were teeny tiny, too young to be a cheerleader, and Westwood Elementary School basketball at the high school games, you would be cheering right along with the cheerleaders, just not in a uniform. You weren't part of the cheerleading team, but you were in it, and you knew all the cheers, and you were super loud, and you were into it, and you were doing it. Do you remember that?
Yes. Growing up, well, my mom was a cheerleader, and growing up, I always wanted to be a cheerleader. So, and I knew all the girls on the cheer squad, and I would just cheer right along next to him. And I remember it just like it was yesterday. It was a long time ago, though.
I super remember seeing you do that. It was the cutest thing. And you did become a cheerleader, right?
Yes, I cheered at elementary and middle school, and then I had to give it up in high school because I wanted to play softball. But yeah, I cheered for as long as I could. It was a lot of fun.
So did you play softball throughout?
I started playing softball as soon as I could walk.
Did you?
As soon as I was able to take direction from an adult, they started me with t-ball, and then I moved to the league in Manchester. And then I played middle school and on up to high school. So yeah, I played softball my whole life. So
and as a softball player, were you interviewed on the Coffee Coaches Show by Dennis Weaver?
I was.
What did you think about that? Was it more than once?
I think let's see. Maybe twice. It was probably twice.
So the first time you went, what was it like?
I was nervous because it was my first time on the radio, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of you. You're good. You got it." He was always there with a smile and just always there to make you feel comfortable. And but that's what I remember the most. It was a good time always when he was around. So
it was a good time. Did he pick on you?
Sometimes, but always because he loved me. Everybody, if he was picking on you, he's loving you.
True that. He was a very jokey guy and had the wonderful sense of humor and just the quickest wit, and so super fun. And today I kind of want to punch Josh in the kidney or maybe hug him. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet because he keeps playing these clips, these audio clips, and I get to hear Weave's voice, and my heart just goes up into my throat, and then I just start to tear up, and it just is this emotional thing to get to hear his voice.
Last year, the season opener of my senior year, we were on the line doing the national anthem. The national anthem was about to play, and then they played his voice. It was a season opener, and I promise you, it took everything in me to hold it together, but he's always around.
I'm right there with you, girl. So all day long, I've been riding this emotional roller coaster, and I'll Josh has put together in the terrific creative way that he does. He'll put together with the music and then draw you in, and then boom, there's a Weave quote or a play-by-play or something he said, and it just absolutely gets me. So I may start crying at any moment. It could happen, but by the end of the day, I will either punch Josh in the kidney. I don't know. It could happen. I have my reasons. There's that. So you, KB Patton, you have received a scholarship from the Dream for Weave Foundation. Is that correct?
Yes.
And how much did you receive?
It was $1,000 scholarship.
And tell me about the application process. What was that like?
I filled out an application for the actual scholarship, and then I wrote an essay describing what softball and the sport meant to me growing up in this town, and just the impact that Weave himself had on me and my family. And my mom, grew up playing for Weave, and so that was kind of a household thing. His name was kind of regular in my house, and I grew up, knowing him and loving him. So I just wrote about his impact on my life and softball on my life, and so that was that application, and I turned that in as soon as I could, and I was fortunate enough to get that scholarship.
And you're in school right now.
Yes, I'm in cosmetology school.
Tell us about where you're going to school and how it's going.
So I'm at TCAT Murfreesboro in the cosmetology program, and I started in September, and I'll graduate in July.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah. I took cosmetology in high school, so I brought
You already
hours
had
over.
credits.
Yes.
Oh, that's so smart.
So it shortened my time a little bit, but so my days are super busy, but it's been a really good program for me, and I was really blessed because part of that scholarship took care of my books, my kit, my mannequins, all the different things that I needed. And also it's a 45-minute drive. So I'm going 45 minutes both ways every day, 5 days a week. So it took care of, some funds that I really, really needed. So
we love hearing how the scholarship has helped you and is helping to propel you forward. And what are your plans once you graduate? You said July, right?
Yes. So it's getting close. So I want to be in Manchester for sure. I'm not sure where, but I want to be in Manchester definitely, just because these are the people that know me and that I know and that I love. So I'm going to be here somewhere for sure, but we'll see, what salon fits me the best.
This is a very exciting time in your life.
Yes, it is. It's super scary, but I'm really excited for the.
What are you
the
afraid of?
I just not scared, but I
What's
guess
the worst that could
just-
happen? Who's going to eat you?
Nobody's gonna eat me, I know, but just excited.
It's so exciting.
It is.
We're thrilled for you,
Thank you.
and we love seeing how the Dream for We Foundation scholarship has affected your life. Now, at the Thundies last year, a little bird told me that you received a particular award. Now, for folks that don't know anything about the Dream for We Foundation, we're doing our radiothon today. We're going all day long. We started at 6 a.m. We go to 6 p.m. and we're trying to raise funds for the Dream for We Foundation, which helps get kids in the game, the scholarships like I was talking about with KB, but also helping kids with equipment if they can't afford it. And so that's kind of what we do, and we do it in memory of our beloved sports broadcaster here at Thunder Radio, Dennis Weaver. So tell me about the Thundies. Describe the Thundies for folks, because not everyone's been to the Thundies, but it's a thing, right?
Yes. Okay. So let's see. I believe it was 2 years ago. Was the very first one. So I was there. On my sister's account, but I was there for her. And basically it's just an award ceremony where athletes in the town, from Westwood Middle School to Coffee County Middle School to Coffee County High School to, all kind of athletes come and are awarded different things for, whatever sport they may be in at whatever school they might be.
For their efforts, for their achievements.
Right.
Yes.
Last year I was blessed enough to be nominated Coffee County's fan favorite.
Fan favorite?
Yes.
For softball?
Yes, for softball.
How about that?
Yes. It was really exciting for me just to know that, I was loved by the community that I love so much.
Why do you think you were nominated? As someone who didn't go to the softball games, I don't know, didn't see you out there. Is there something special you do or something you're known for?
I don't know what other people would say, but I think if I could answer that question, I would just say that if you know me, then you know that I love you. And I think that sticks with a lot of people as far as teammates go. And I think that's part of the reason that a lot of people, decided to, I guess, nominate me as fan favorite, is because, I just love everybody and everybody knows it.
Well, you just made tears just spring right into my eyes. I am going to completely be the leaky host for these next few hours. Just this emotional roller coaster. So you won fan favorite. So, folks, the Thundies Awards, it's this big deal, red carpet, fancy dress up for this awards dinner. this is not in the school cafeteria. Okay, this is with fancy tablecloths, and it's really a pretty special event to celebrate these student athletes in our community. So tell me about what you wore the first year and the second year.
Oh gosh.
Do you remember?
I don't remember. It was a lot of fun to get ready. It was like a little something black, something kind of black dress.
Were all your friends wearing something black?
I think my sister Audrey wore a red dress. And then the year before she wore black dress with red heels. So it was like, kind of going with the Raiders theme. And I think I did the same thing last year. I did black dress, black heels, and then I had red fingernails. So
nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's
and picking out what you get to wear, that's part of the fun.
That's so much fun. I love getting flucied up like that.
Flucied up. I love the terminology. Flucied up is what we get for the Thundy Awards. Okay, so the first year I was sitting right next to the stage, right near the stairs. And from my perspective, I could have shot video of everybody going up the stairs to accept their awards. It would have been the shoes of the Thundies. Because let me tell you what, there was some phenomenal footwear at this event. There were cowboy boots. There were Chuck Taylors. There were high heels. There were sparkly shoes. There were tall shoes. There were short. I mean, it was the shoes of the Thundies was a thing to see, and I got to see it from my vantage point. It was wicked cool.
Yep,
Cool.
people get fancied up.
I know, right? The crowd just looked great.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Carabeth, we're supposed to ask people for money.
Yes.
For kids, for scholarships, for kids that maybe can't afford camps or can't afford entry fees or can't afford particular equipment or cleats or shoes. What's the best way you think for us to ask folks to help us and donate?
To anybody, who as coming from a college student, a trade school student, anybody that wants to help, the scholarships that I graduated from high school with helped me. My tuition was covered by Tennessee Promise, so that was out of the way. But Tennessee Promise does not cover books. I had to have 4 textbooks.
You talked about a kit.
Yes.
What is the kit that you needed?
So in cosmetology school, you have to have a kit, a set of tools that you have to have. We had to have 8 mannequins, which is like heads, to work on.
To practice with the hair and the face.
Yeah, right. So we had 8 of those, plus shears, that's your cutting scissors.
Those are not cheap.
No, cutting combs, hair dryers, thermal tools, all kind of different things. It ended up being $888 I paid for that kit.
Good gravy.
So my scholarships, especially the Dream for Weave, it covered all of that, books, kit, and everything I needed. So it's really important for these kids because these scholarships help cover everything that we need to be successful in school.
Just an extra step up.
Yeah, absolutely.
An extra push. And so we asked you about the application process. It wasn't like digging a ditch. It wasn't terribly difficult.
No, and it was not hard for me either because I knew Coach Weave.
And you had something to say.
I did.
From the heart.
I had a good a point, to make. My mom was pretty much the inspiration behind my whole softball career. She's played growing up, and I knew that when I got old enough that I wanted to play too. And she played for Weave, and then by the time I was playing softball at the high school level, Weave was talking about the games, and so that was just really special for me. And I knew exactly what I needed to say to answer the prompt in a way that I thought was effective and relevant to my life.
Well, I know you came here from school. You probably didn't get to hear your mom's interview. Did you get to hear your mom's interview?
Nope.
I didn't know. I listened most of the day. I did not get to hear your mom's interview. But I think this is so cool in particular that your mom, like you said, played for Weave. She was here today talking about Dennis Weaver and sports. And you played sports because of your mother's experiences, and you knew weave, and you're here talking today. And I just love the multi-generational family ties to Dennis Weaver, who we love so much.
Yes, she also, this is another thing too, she also wore the jersey number 23 for years. And
that was her number, no matter what team she was on.
That was her number 23, and that was also my number. So I thought it was super cool.
That is really
to like
special.
relive her.
It is really special.
Yeah,
I feel like there's like this.
Everything comes full circle.
It is a circle,
it's
isn't
awesome.
it?
Yeah, it's super awesome. Makes things special.
Well, Kara Beth Patton, it's been wonderful talking to you. I'm so excited about your journey.
Thank you.
And that you graduate in July.
Yes.
You go, girl.
Thank you.
You're gonna do great things.
Thank you.
I love that you shared your story with us, and you're here to support the Dream for We Foundation. We thank you so much.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
Appreciate you. I think I'm supposed to go to my roving reporter.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't even ask you what I have to do about that microphone. Do I
Yeah,
just leave
it's
pot
on.
2 open?
Yep, it's open. It's good. We can turn it off here, so you're good. So KB has inspired donations. Let me tell you what, she has gotten.
Of course she has.
Yeah, it's her stories. She's gotten people up and going. So I think since we've had her on, we've had a couple of more donations. So see, Coach Andrew Taylor has donated $100.
Thanks, Coach.
Big thanks to Leslie Trussler, who donated $100.
Thank you, Dr. Trussler.
Then we had an anonymous $500 donor come in and drop that off. So big news on there. That puts us over $700 for the hour, which means we get a $500 match from Eurozu. So it's a $1,200 hour.
Eurozu, wonderful company locally here that is willing to match that $500.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a $1,200 hour, and KB's made that all happen in like 23 minutes. So I don't know what we're going to do the rest of the hour.
KB, way to go.
Yes, way to go. So that's really get our total up. Tiffany, let me.
Have you heard these totals for the day, KB? Do you know where we're at?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
You ready?
Let's see.
We're asking Josh to math, and he's had a really long day.
I went to Coffee County. We're see. Let's say 10,700. 10,700 is where we're going to be at right now.
That's a tremendous number.
Yeah.
And we're not even done yet.
Yeah, $10,700. And we still have the rest of the 3 o'clock hour. Next hour, we have a $500 match from Reese's Jeans Boutique.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so if we can get another $500 next hour, that makes that a $1,000 hour. And so the more money that comes in, the merrier. 728-1320. Just to remind everybody how they can to make that happen. Our operator standing by. She's bored. She needs somebody to call her. You can just bring your checks by. We still have plenty of food out here in the lobby.
Come eat.
We've had food for days out
Kara
there.
Beth, you going to take a donut with you when you go? Or my mother made cookies.
Those donuts from this morning, KB. I don't know if you want those. But there's barbecue, there's donuts, there's fruit, there's a little bit of everything out there, and everybody's welcome to it. Chips, smoked cream cheese is out there.
Is that what that is?
It's so good.
There are clementines and there's fresh fruit.
I didn't know smoking cream cheese was a thing. Yeah, but it is phenomenal. So people have brought by lots of foods, a huge spread out there. So y'all come on by and hang out with us. We're here till 6. Donate money, $5, $10, $500, whatever. All of that is welcome.
Kara Beth Patton.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thank y'all so much for
We
thinking
appreciate
of me.
you so much. What am I supposed to do now, Josh Peterson?
Okay. We're a little early, so we're gonna play some extra weave clips. So it's cool.
Okay, you know what happens when you play the weave clips? I get all teary.
Well, that's just what you want to do. That's what we're going to do here.
All right,
Kara. Wrap the interview early. So when you're ready, you can start.
Kara Beth and I. Well, we started early, but that's okay. All right, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Here he comes. It'll get you.
Good evening, Coach Wyatt. How are you, sir?
Disco, how's my man doing, brother?
I love you. 3 seconds to go. Vincent across the timeline puts up a shot. She's fouled at the buzzer. She's fouled at the buzzer. The Tullahoma folks hate that, but that is poetic justice. She hits the first one. She hits the second one. She hits the third one. It is championship point for the Lady Raiders. Kaya Farrell set to serve it. Farrell, jump serve, back row, bad first pass. Lincoln County's got to free it over on 3, and it's a two-touch pass. Coffee County gets the district championship on a two-touch pass. Coffee County is your District 8 AAA champions. To the middle of the field. It's Amato. Outside the top of the 18, she's dribbling, trying to get it on her right foot. Can't do so. Drops it into the 18. With it, there's Jones. Jones, shot, far post. No!
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. Lawmakers holding a hearing today as Senator Bernie Sanders leads a renewed push to reduce the standard work week from 40 to 32 hours.
60% of the people living paycheck to paycheck. Many of our people are exhausted.
Now, critics of the proposed bill warn that many companies can't afford to reduce work hours while paying their employees the same. They also accuse Democrat supporters of conducting an election year ploy. Gang violence continues to rage in Haiti. More Americans attempting to flee the Caribbean nation. The White House reacting.
The administration now is deploying a Marine unit to evacuate Americans who are working at the embassy. Officials acknowledge concerns that this crisis could soon also prompt a mass exodus of Haitians, with many seeking asylum here in the U.S.
Fox's Jillian Turner at the State Department. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, another update from the WMSR Thunder Radio News Center.
With your daily free news update from Thunder Radio, I'm Tiffany Clutter, and this news update is brought to you by Spring Street Market, 801 South Spring Street in Manchester, open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And here's today's news update. Commodities are set to be distributed in Manchester. There's an open house at TCAT McMinnville. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has sent National Guard to the U.S. southern border. Roger Chambers has been appointed to the Coffee County Commission seat number 2. Find more details to these news stories and so much more by going to our website, thunder1320.com. Doritos extra large bag, Hawaiian slider roll tray, Hungry Man entrees. All these items are on sale this week at Spring Street Market. See the terrific sales ad at thunder1320.com.
People Think and Trust to Manchester. Present your daily sports blast on Thunder Radio. I'm Josh Peterson. 2 Coffee County pitchers combined for a no-hitter, and the Lady Raider softball team easily dispatched of Spring Hill in their district opener on Wednesday, March the 13th. Game you heard live on Thunder Radio. Lily Norman was basically perfect in her 3 innings in the circle, striking out all 9 Spring Hill batters she saw. Caitlin Anderson tossed a clean inning in relief. Offensively, Coffee County pounded out 13 hits, including 6 extra base hits. High school boys tennis got a 6-1 win over Franklin County on Wednesday. Girls tennis falling 3-4. Coffee Middle School baseball falling to Stewart's Creek in non-conference action 11-6. And coming up Thursday night, Coffee County High School baseball will be at Middle Tennessee Christian at 7 o'clock. Coffee Middle School softball hosting Franklin County. Middle School tennis will be hosting Moore County. Westwood baseball will be hosting Winchester Christian. Westwood softball will be at Community. And high school soccer will be at Shelbyville. More sports at thunder1320.com.
Now from Thunder Radio WMSR, your latest local weather.
Sunny with a high in the upper 70s today. Overnight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms with increasing clouds and a low around 60 degrees. Being a better you isn't a New Year's resolution. It's a lifetime commitment. Nutritional meal planning available at Workout Anytime. $1 enrollment if you mention Thunder Radio at Workout Anytime behind Zaxby's in Manchester. I'm Jackson Ham from the Thunder Radio Weather Center.
Join Thunder Radio and the Dream for We Foundation for our annual Radiothon Thursday, March 14th. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Getting Kids in the Game Radiothon will be a lively all-day event raising funds to support the nonprofit foundation and its mission of providing Coffee County athletes with the scholarships, necessary gear, and registration fees so that anyone who wants to play sports in Coffee County has the opportunity. You can make the difference on Thursday, March 14th, only on Thunder Radio.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
Thanks for tuning in to your hometown station, Thunder Radio, a thrilling Thunder Radio Thursday, and the Dream for Weave Radiothon. Radiothon is not a word. Is it a word?
Radiothon? That's
meh. I think it's a word your husband made up.
No, it's a word, right? I need to look it up now.
Good luck with that.
Just ask St. Jude's about the amount of radiothons that are done for their.
You're not in this interview, sir.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
He can't even take some time off.
This is just for the girls, Mr. Control Freak. Holly Peterson, president of Coffee County Broadcasting, star of Thunder Radio's morning show, the good-looking one, and she's my guest. I'm Tiffany here inside the Thunder Studios for our Dream for Weave Radiothon. We are trying to raise money to get kids in the game.
Yes, absolutely. Get them in the game with maybe their equipment. Maybe they've got a ball glove. It's old. Maybe it's an old hand-me-down glove, and we love those, and we want to hang on to those forever. But sometimes you need a new piece of equipment.
And those kids' feet keep growing. You feed them, you water them, and this is what you get.
Right.
And then their cleats don't fit anymore.
It happens quick too.
Equipment. Okay, so I want to take this way, way, way back because and I know I was supposed to interview Josh, but Josh talks too fast, and I don't feel like he's going to get me to the meat.
Oh goodness,
I need the meat.
Okay,
all right. So, Dennis Weaver, sports broadcaster, sports director for Thunder Radio, came up with all kinds of new and innovative ways to broadcast sports and cover different sports, cover middle school sports, interview kids on the Coffee Coaches show, bringing like 25 kids every Saturday to Al White Ford Lincoln for the Coaches show. And it thought of all of these great ways to celebrate kids in our community.
Absolutely.
And he died so suddenly. And we were crushed.
It just took the wind out of our sails here, and it just unexpectedly being a key word because
here's this young man, and he's busier than anybody you know, and he's gone.
Right? Yeah. It just a shock to the system. It's like what the feeling that I had besides just immediate grief was what are we supposed to do now? Where do we go from? What happens if he's not here? What happens? And so it left a giant hole.
He handled so much.
Yes.
And so well.
Yes.
He was, I joke that Josh is a control freak, and I guess I mean, really, Weave was super. You heard other people talking today, and they gave testimony that Weave was really in control. And when Rob and I owned the radio station, I always felt like I worked for Weave. And I don't know if you felt that way too, but that was our relationship. I always felt like I worked for him.
Yeah.
So, yes, sir. I'll do whatever you say.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I always had this feeling of, I want Weave to be happy with me. So if ever there was something going on that I could be a part of, I wanted to make sure to do a good job so that he was proud,
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So we lose him. What's the next step? Because you said, what do we do? What do we do? But you did do. So how did this happen? This foundation, how was it born?
A lot of people know Weave. A lot of people have interacted with Weave, and he he did so much for athletics here, as we've heard guest after guest after guest talk about today. Um, how do you keep up with that? How do you remember him? The kids that don't know Dennis Weaver and what he did, how do you keep that going? And so I just think the Dream for We Foundation and getting kids into the game is the perfect way to carry on his legacy. He wanted to showcase them even at the middle school level. He wanted them to play sports. He wanted to write stories about them, broadcast them on the radio. He wanted to shine a spotlight on them, and we're just trying to be an extension of that thought process that he had, that we also want to help them in his honor.
Okay, the bell means that we got a donation, and we certainly appreciate that. We will get an update from Josh here momentarily, but we're knee deep in this, and I'm getting to the meat. And and so where did this come from? Whose brainchild was this? Do you even remember?
I don't remember. When Weave was alive, he posted a quote every day.
Quote of the day. Yes.
And
on social media.
And at the end of the quote, he would do hashtag Live for Tay. And when I found out that Weave had passed, and we made we made a post about it. It just seemed fitting. We hashtag Live for Tay, hashtag Play for Weave, and I honestly think Play for Weave, the hashtag. We wanted to keep doing what he loved to watch and loved to broadcast, and so it kind of stemmed from that. Play for Weave. How can we keep this going and making sure that kids had what they needed, and no child could ever say, hey, you're not going to be able to play baseball this year because we can't afford the fees. We never want that to happen. We want them all to play. We want to showcase them all, and we're trying to
Girl. Oh my gosh. I'm close enough to see what it is that you folks really do, but far enough away because I don't really do any of it. I'm not on the board, but I see what you folks do. And you run your own business, and you run your own business working early hours, late nights, all day, out of town, in town, and yet you still run this foundation that you've created.
I have to sometimes, if I ever feel overwhelmed, like, oh gosh, I was up at doing the morning show, and then doing things all day at the radio station, and then running at night, going from field to field or court to court,
and your parents, and
or what have
the job,
you.
the
And
parenting, and
I try and think, We've did it. He had a full-time job, and it was just him. And
is that what you say to yourself?
Yeah, We've did it. So step up your game and stop your complaining, Holly, and get out there and do the thing, And it's me and Josh. Weave was just one guy, and he did all of the things. And so it's a lot. And Josh and I are splitting a lot of the responsibility.
And then you have Court helps out as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And sometimes you have some other color commentators.
Guest commentators and broadcasters. And actually we're hoping to get some students back in this year. We've got one of the juniors. He works here. His name's Owen Whitsitt. He runs the board for us during football and pulls clips for us. But he's shown interest in broadcasting some games, so we're hoping to get him doing some middle school broadcasting. And you just try and keep it going through things like that.
I loved hearing Elizabeth Brown's interview, and I got to hear a little bit of Luke Beachboard's the Beachboard young man. It's not Luke.
Yeah, it is Luke.
Is it Luke?
Yeah.
Okay, I get them mixed around sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get myself in big trouble here. So I love that you let those kids have a shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. and they're great. They're great at it, and they just need to stretch their legs. They enjoy athletics and sports, and they compete, and they want to be a part of that, and we're more than happy to let them.
I remember being in Elizabeth Brown's father's office for a dental visit, and I was talking to Miss Sandy and her mom, and she said, Elizabeth is thinking someday she'd like to be a sports broadcaster, and I said, well, she needs to call Josh Peterson. He's the owner. He and his wife Holly Peterson own the radio station, and she needs to tell him that she's interested, and I'm certain that they can work something out.
Boy,
and,
I tell
and
you,
of course
she did a great job, and especially at baseball, which it wasn't like she picked a female sport. She liked baseball, and she wanted to call baseball, and I love that.
Good for her.
Yep.
I've worked in radio for many years. I'm never going to do the sports. I'm never, ever going to be the play-by-play or the color commentary. It's just not, I just don't have it. So I really admire that in folks that do have those skills. Okay. So, Josh, do you want to get us update? I know I heard the bell ring. I'm going to go to another topic with my guest, but if you wanted to give us an update on that, I know that Yorozu has so generously offered a $500 match for this hour. We're so grateful to them for stepping up to do that for us here at the Dream for We Foundation.
Yeah, this has been a great hour, Tiffany's. You look, and we've got two more that have come in since we last talked. We got $25 from Jerry Chesser, and then a $50 donation from Mrs. Bryan. So we're continuing to roll along, and hopefully going to cross the $11,000 threshold soon.
And every dollar counts. And if you have $5 to give, we'll take $5. Give us a call 728-1320 if you'd like to make a pledge. The Venmo is Dream, the number 4, Weave. And Josh said if you do Venmo, you know how that works. And I don't Venmo, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I love Venmo. Super easy. I can
I'm a
save
PayPal girl.
Okay,
Sorry,
well,
because that's all I know.
I do PayPal as well. So, but either or.
I'm a dinosaur. It's all I got.
You're what?
A dinosaur.
Oh, no, you're not.
I'm super dinosaur. Is all I got. No, ask your husband. I'm a dinosaur. I don't know anything technological. I can.
Well, we have that in common.
I can barely do this. The only reason I have this job, he hasn't fired me for not knowing anything tech, is because
we're
the same. Thanks for that, Holly. I really appreciate you saving my job. So let's talk about the Thundies.
Okay, yeah.
What I heard is that you had this idea before the Dream for We Foundation, before we ever lost Dennis Weaver. This was the concept of yours. Tell me about it.
Yeah, just when let me think how I want to word this. We got invited to banquets at the end of the year. Hey, Holly and
sports
Josh,
banquets. Here's a football banquet. Here's
come,
the softball banquet.
Yeah. And I thought, how awesome would it? If you've ever heard of the ESPYs, I don't know if you've ever heard.
They're sports awards. I'm assuming sort of like.
Yeah, like the Grammys, but for athletes, or the Oscars,
but it's
for
just
athletes.
So the athletes go and they get dressed up and they have their own awards show.
Yes. And I had a coworker of mine when I worked at the hospital, Misty Sheffield. She was a respiratory therapist. Her son, I can't remember which one of the Sheffield boys went to the ESPYs, and she got
for real.
Yes, he played baseball, and I can't remember which one it was.
Justice or okay,
maybe one of them, but not Jackson. Jackson's the youngest one. It was one of the older two,
Okay.
but she got to go and get dressed up and go on the red carpet. I'm like, how awesome is that? For them to be able to experience that. And I think I just kind of craved to be able to do that here on this level, because how many athletes in our area are going to be able to say they went to the ESPYs? Probably not a lot.
Probably not.
So, but they work hard. And they're breaking records. And I just really wanted to showcase that. And I'm an Office fan. I love The Office, and the awards on The Office are the Dundies after Dunder Mifflin. And we own Thunder Radio, and I'm like, the Thundies is perfect. Showcasing the best athletes, and it all just kind of came together. And when we've passed away, I thought that this is our time. This is our time to get this going. I think he would not like the attention to be on him,
But we don't care.
But we don't care. Yeah.
Because we want people to say his name.
Yeah.
Again and again
Absolutely.
and again.
Yeah. And
we don't want to forget him.
Right.
And we don't want anybody else to forget him.
And we want the younger generation to know about him and what he's done. And this is why we do it. It's because he paved the way, and that's important.
So explain to folks how the Dream for We Foundation is tied together with the Thundies.
Okay. So the foundation, we raise money all year,
like with this radiothon, like we're raising money right now.
The radiothon, volleyball, softball teams have held tournaments and donated proceeds from concessions or something to the foundation. The little T-shirt.
The Warren County,
the battle,
border,
the border battle,
war.
yeah. So we raise money that way, and we put this Thundy Award banquet on. It's red carpet. You get dressed up. You come down. There's an award committee, and it is based on some teachers, some coaches, Josh, myself, and it's a variety of folks. And we're talking about who is the best in that sport, not who's your favorite. Who is the best athlete
this year
with but they can't be you want them to have good character. So maybe they hit a bunch of home runs and everything, but if their character is not where you want it to be, then we're not going to showcase that, because it's about being a good teammate, being a good person on and off the field. You don't want someone who's being bad in class to represent the Thundies. So there's a long discussion that goes into who deserves this, who has good character on top of being a great athlete. And sometimes we got great kids, a bunch of great kids at the high school, great athletes, and it's sometimes it's just splitting hairs on who can get it. You want to give it to them all, honestly. Right. But and so the money that we bring in for the foundation goes to putting on that event, and we give out trophies and scholarships that night as well. So
the first year that the Dream for We Foundation gave out scholarships, you gave them out at the high school on award day.
On award day, yes.
And then you had this brainchild, and you said, "No, we're going to do this Thundies thing, and we're going to give away our scholarships at the Thundies."
Yes.
At the same time as we give away these other sports awards.
Yes.
And make it a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times, the athletes that are winning the Thundies have also put in for scholarships. So it just seemed like a good idea to mesh those,
to put it together. Yeah. So something happened last year at the Thundies, and the Thundies is May 18th this year, and the students, those student athletes that are, I don't want to say this wrong. The Dream for We Foundation buys the ticket for those that are winning awards.
So actually, Al White, I believe,
Al White Ford Lincoln,
yeah, and
title sponsor of the Thundies,
and they make that possible. Along with we have scholarship sponsors along the way, and we're going to start putting that out on Facebook and stuff. Thanking them, but it's really a joint effort.
Terrific community partners.
I believe Unity Medical Center helps pay for let's see, is it the dessert? Are they the dessert sponsor? Yeah. So each
People's Bank did something with the tables last year.
Yeah. Table sponsor or centerpiece sponsor, something I can't remember, but yeah, it's a big joint effort, and
but the kids don't have to pay for their ticket.
Absolutely not.
That's covered
That
by
is
the terrific community
yes
partners.
Yep.
And you do sell tickets for
We do.
others.
So if the child is free if they win a scholarship or a Thundy, but if the parents want to come, yeah, they will pay for the ticket. It all that goes for is to pay for the food that night. We're not making
Right,
money
right, right.
off of that, and so it's just a way to make sure that they can get out. We don't want to charge them for that.
So the kids get in.
Right. Yeah.
So last year at the Thundy, something happened that had never happened before. I got this big thing. I don't know if you can see it on the camera.
Oh my
It's hard
gosh.
to- It's this big, huge, giant
Look
thing.
at that trophy.
It says, this is the Dennis Weaver Community Excellence Award presented by the Dusty Elam Foundation. Dusty Elam Foundation, of course, tremendous organization, charity in this community. And the phone's ringing.
Ash.
They presented this to you and Josh
So-
at the Thundies.
Yeah, it was completely unexpected. And I'm going to tell you something. As much as the Dusty Elam Foundation does for our community,
They do
what
so
they
much.
do
So-
for them
so
to
much.
say, "Hey, you're doing a good job," it was. I almost felt like, oh, I don't deserve this, you guys. This is. It was very thoughtful and unexpected, and it made me feel like I was on the right path, though. It was kind of it reiterated that what we're doing is good work to have that foundation
Award you
pay
guys for running
attention
this
to us, like
foundation.
us, like
I
little
know.
us. Yeah. So and we love them, and
I just feel like a lot of people don't know about this. And
I need to put it on the hood of my car and ride it around.
Your car would tip over. This thing is so big and so heavy.
So what's great about this award is the Elam Foundation, they paid for the trophy, and each year they want us to give that trophy to someone else in the community. And so
pass it along.
We'll pass it along. Yeah. They gave one with our name on it. So I've got one to keep. But that one this year at the Thundies will be given to someone else in the community.
There's one little plaque and there's room for all the rest.
Yeah.
It'll be all on all sides.
It's
one
yeah.
day.
It's super cool. So they are responsible for that, and I just think it's awesome. How great is it when charities can work together like that? It's
Or
just,
even it's beyond working together.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
It's not like you're making nice. It's just
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's like this.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh. This was so cool
It
to
wa-
watch you guys win this.
I'm telling you what, I did not expect it at all. Number one, I'm not much for being on stage. Josh is an excellent talker.
He does a tremendous
He
job.
does a great job presenting, broadcasting, all of it. He does a good job, and I am just fine behind the camera. I have no desire to be on a stage or to be behind a microphone, honestly. But it was really an honor to. I was happy to step out of my comfort zone for that purpose.
Well, I think Josh is thinking I'm a terrible host because I'm supposed to be begging for money. Hey, this is the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon, and please send us money. Please call now 728-1320. And thank you so much to Yorosu for the $500 match for this hour. Their generosity is just phenomenal. Josh, did you want to give us an update on numbers? Did the bell ring again? Something along those lines?
Brief pause.
I've got other stuff.
I was trying to get stuff lined up out here, ladies. Okay. So, yeah, we did get a couple more donations. Terry Weaver is actually sending 2 Venmos. I think he's I don't know.
Do you think he hit it accidentally?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know he did Venmo. And so I don't
That
know
was
if
a
they
diss.
if they came from him or if they came in his name or if somebody was giving him money and then he is sending it via Venmo. I don't know, but I know we've gotten some more money from Terry. We had another $70 come in. I believe right now that puts us, let's see, at about $10,845. So we're really close.
Way to go.
To the 11,000 mark. And this,
Folks, can we make it to 11,000 before this hour is up? I mean, my goodness, please, 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 please.
we got like 2 or 3 minutes.
If we don't get there, my boss is going to blame me, not Holly. Trust me.
Well, we just got another $50.
Oh, come
that
on,
came in
people,
right
help me
there.
out.
See where I can
Okay,
find out where
Holly,
that came from.
Holly, I've got something special. Okay, so before you folks bought the station, you and Josh.
Rhonda
bought the-
McCormick. Thanks to Rhonda
Thanks,
McCormick.
Rhonda. Before you and Josh bought the station, one year, I want to say this was 2014. I think that's the date I found on some of these. The old files, the old audio files in here. I had a folder.
Oh my gosh, I know where this is going.
Do you?
I think so. Okay,
Well,
go ahead.
I don't know. But one year when Weave was hosting the Coffee Coaches show, it was his birthday.
Oh, okay.
And we, We've loved to pick on nearly everyone that I've ever met. He really loved to pick on me.
Yeah.
And he is, as you said earlier, he was not the kind of guy that liked attention. But it was his birthday.
Right. Yeah.
So we recorded some special things and we named the cart things he was used to seeing.
Sure.
Because he ran his own board
Yeah.
and things he was used to seeing so we could sneak it in. We had all of these birthday hits going all through the Coffee Coaches show. We completely got him. He didn't know. I have some of these that we created for his birthday. And I listened to him the other day and I'm going to play them for you folks now. We completely got him with these and they're really good.
Awesome. I can't wait.
This is a Dream for Weave Radiothon. Please donate 728-1320. Venmo is Dream, the number 4 Weave. We're looking to help get kids in the game.
His charm is so contagious. Vaccines have been created for it. Years ago, he built a city out of blocks. Today, over 600,000 people live and work there. He is the only man to ever ace a Rorschach test. Every time he goes for a swim, dolphins appear. Alien abductors have asked him to probe them. If he were to give you directions, you'd never get lost, and you'd arrive at least 5 minutes early. His legend precedes him, the way lightning precedes thunder. He is
Dennis Weaver, the host of the Coffee County Coaches Show, found every Saturday morning, 10 a.m., live and local on Thunder Radio.
Dennis Weaver, the guy who is more awesome than anything you can think of that's awesome. Happy birthday, man.
When Dennis Weaver steps up to the mic, you can hear girls scream all the way from the edges of Tennessee. Oh yeah, he's got swagger. And that's why at Thunder Radio, we have Weaver Fever. Happy birthday to the one, the only Dennis Weaver.
Thanks for tuning in to the Coffee County Coaches Show with your host, Dennis Weaver, seasoned journalist. He asks the tough questions of his guests. Dennis Weaver is such a tough sports journalist because of his legend, because of his reputation. I do have some little known facts about Dennis Weaver. Dennis Weaver doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. Outer space exists because it's afraid to be on the same planet with Dennis Weaver. Dennis Weaver does not sleep. He waits. Dennis Weaver can split the atom with his bare hands. Scientists say that nothing can escape from a black hole. Black holes have to escape from Dennis Weaver. Dennis Weaver was born as a result of dividing by 0. And to celebrate Dennis Weaver's birthday, which is today, a little known but highly important fact about Dennis Weaver, Stonehenge was made by Dennis Weaver stacking blocks as a baby.
I have just closed my eyes again. Climbed aboard the dream, weave a chain.
We appreciate each and every one tuned in tonight. I love you.
And leave tomorrow behind. Oh, dream weaver, I believe you can get me through the night.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another broadcast of Coffee County Basketball here on Thunder Radio. We are Manchester's source for Coffee County sports tonight.
Fly me high through the starry skies, maybe to an astral plane.
We appreciate each and every one tuned in tonight. You know our motto. We come to Grundy County so you don't have to. That's the Thunder Radio motto.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320.
I believe we can reach the
Broadcasting from the Unity Medical Center studios. This is Thunder Radio.
Your hometown radio station.
WMSR. Now, another update from the WMSR Thunder Radio News Center.
With your daily free news update from Thunder Radio, I'm Tiffany Clutter, and this news update is brought to you by Spring Street Market, 801 South Spring Street in Manchester, open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And here's today's news update. Commodities are set to be distributed in Manchester. The South Central Human Resources Agency has announced that the U.S. Department of Agriculture will distribute commodities on Thursday, March the 21st. Eligible area residents are invited to attend on a first-come, first-served basis, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. The distribution will be held at the Ada Wright Center, 328 North Woodland Street in Manchester. Eligibility will be based on total household income that is within the income guidelines. Anyone receiving aid from one of the following programs is eligible for USDA commodities: SNAP, Families First, SSI, LIHEAP, or proof of residency in public housing. There's an open house at TCAT McMinnville. The Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, in McMinnville is excited to announce an open house event at the McMinnville campus at 241 Votech Drive in McMinnville on March 19th from 4 to 6 p.m. Participants can take a tour of the campus, tour the programs, and meet the instructors. Learn more about the programs offered and enter to win door prizes. For additional information on the full range of programs, visit tcatmcminnville.edu. TCAT McMinnville offers 12 career and technical education programs in a broad range of high-demand, high-wage fields at affordable tuition rates. Many students attend tuition-free through Tennessee Promise for new high school graduates and TCAT Reconnect for adults with no college degree or other post-secondary credential. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has sent National Guard to the U.S. southern border. The governor recently visited Tennessee National Guard soldiers at the Millington, Tennessee Army National Guard Armory ahead of their deployment to the nation's southern border in the wake of the most severe border crisis the United States has experienced in decades. The governor posted on social media, quote, "As America faces the most severe border crisis in decades, Tennessee is showing the rest of the country what it means to lead. Today, I join the Tennessee National Guard members who will soon deploy on a voluntary mission to secure the southern border as the federal government fails to act," end quote. Last month, Governor Lee committed to deploying 2 waves of state active duty soldiers to Texas to assist in their efforts as the Tennessee Department of Military continues to coordinate with Texas to determine areas of greatest need. This is the first deployment of approximately 50 Tennessee National Guard members who volunteered to join Operation Lone Star. Find out more about this story at our website. Go to thunder1320.com. Roger Chambers has been appointed to the Coffee County Commission seat number 2. At the March 12th Coffee County Commission meeting, a unanimous vote by the commission appointed Roger Chambers to the seat number 2 of the Coffee County Commission. The seat was vacated by the death of Coffee County Commissioner Claude Morse last fall. Commissioner Dennis Hunt had this to say.
We addressed this issue at our last meeting, and we postponed the appointment to the vacancy because of the primary election process was such a short time away. We felt like the people in that community, in that district, would make their choice at the polls, and they did so. Mr. Chambers won the primary, which means he will be officially certified as the commissioner for that seat in August. But we are going ahead and appoint him tonight to fill the vacancy until which time the election commission certifies him so his position.
Commissioner Chambers was sworn in and immediately took his seat on the commission. Find more details to these news stories and so much more by going to our website, thunder1320.com. Doritos extra large bag, Hawaiian slider roll tray, Hungry Man entrees. All these items are on sale this week at Spring Street Market. See the terrific sales ad at thunder1320.com.
People's Bank of Trust to Manchester. Present your daily sports blast on Thunder Radio. I'm Josh Peterson. 2 Coffee County pitchers combined for a no-hitter, and the Lady Raider softball team easily dispatched of Spring Hill in their district opener on Wednesday, March the 13th. Game you heard live on Thunder Radio. Lily Norman was basically perfect in her 3 innings in the circle, striking out all 9 Spring Hill batters she saw. Caitlin Anderson tossed a clean inning in relief. Offensively, Coffee County pounded out 13 hits, including 6 extra base hits. High school boys tennis got a 6-1 win over Franklin County on Wednesday. Girls tennis falling 3-4. Coffee Middle School baseball falling to Stewart's Creek in non-conference action 11-6. And coming up Thursday night, Coffee County High School baseball will be at Middle Tennessee Christian at 7 o'clock. Coffee Middle School softball hosting Franklin County. Middle School tennis will be hosting Moore County. Westwood baseball will be hosting Winchester Christian. Westwood softball will be at Community. And high school soccer will be at Shelbyville. More sports at thunder1320.com.
Now from Thunder Radio WMSR, your latest local weather.
Sunny with a high in the upper 70s today. Overnight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms with increasing clouds and a low around 60 degrees. Being a better you isn't a New Year's resolution. It's a lifetime commitment. Nutritional meal planning available at Workout Anytime. $1 enrollment if you mention Thunder Radio at Workout Anytime behind Zaxby's in Manchester. I'm Jackson Ham from the Thunder Radio Weather Center.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
A thrilling Thunder Radio Thursday. I know normally you're expecting us to say this is Connected Coffee County, but today we're doing an all-day radiothon inside the Thunder Studios. We start at 6 a.m. We go right to 6 p.m. I'm Tiffany, your host for this hour, the Dream for We Foundation, getting kids in the game, helping with kids' scholarships and equipment so that kids can be in the game no matter what their socioeconomic status is at home. Joining me this hour, I'm really excited to talk to Mr. Richard Skipper. He's been on my interview show before because he's the CTE director for Coffee County Schools. We're going to talk to him a little different angle now. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful.
So Josh Peterson told me you were the very first guest on the Coffee Coaches Show, which Dennis Weaver hosted for years and years and years at Al White Ford Lincoln.
Sure.
Because you were the athletic director at the time.
In one of my previous lives, I was the athletic director. Yes, ma'am.
So tell me about your relationship with Dennis Weaver.
Well, my relationship goes way back to when I was in high school, actually. So I know it's hard to believe. It's been so long ago, but we was actually a freshman football coach.
What year was that?
Well, that's probably in let me think here, the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so 88 to 90, I think was the time.
Did he look like a member of Menudo at that time?
It's funny. We've not changed over the years.
No.
Not doesn't seem like it, really. I mean,
I tried so hard to get this rumor started. So there, Menudo is like this boy band,
Sure.
and they would switch out the members would get too old, and then they switch in a younger version. I found this one picture, and I'm like, if you look at it far away and kind of squint your eyes, maybe you might think that was Dennis Weaver. And I was trying to pick on him because he was so good at picking on everybody. And he had a great sense of humor. And I was trying to start this rumor that he was a member of Menudo.
Well, as far as replacing and keeping the same look, if that's the mindset that you're talking about, Weave through the very end was a member of the old-fashioned coach's shorts guy, like he
denim shorts.
Yep, no, the coach's shorts.
Coach's
had the
shorts.
wide band. I mean,
nice.
To the end, he
okay,
wore
the
those.
polyester coach's shorts.
Even back in the 80s, he wore them, and he continued to wear them.
We're not celebrating Dennis Weaver today because of his fashion forte.
Well, the good thing was he didn't really care what you thought
He
about his fashion.
super didn't care what I thought.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
So you knew he was a freshman football
Mhm.
coach. So did you play football? I mean, were you on the team?
Yeah, a little bit.
He was your coach?
For my freshman year, he helped with the coaching staff there, and so that's how I knew him. And also he was a math teacher, during the time, and that was before he went to the base. And even then, he was just a fun guy. I mean, that's just kind of it's kind of funny. Even I can think back now and see his smart aleck wit.
Oh,
even back then,
that kid was so smart.
But it didn't come across that way. It was like, are you dumb or do you want to be dumb? Like, it's kind of like, what do you, that's kind of how it seemed to come out sometimes. So, but yeah, he's always an enjoyable guy to be around. Really
Fast forward years later, here's this radio broadcaster that comes to you and you're the athletic director.
Yep.
Well,
our relationship continued throughout the years, actually. And so probably the next progression, he had ended up in Rutherford County with Riverdale and Jeff.
Softball.
Kind of lived that powerhouse softball. But during the time, I had a daughter that played for the Riverdale travel team. And so that's who she played with, in Rutherford County forever. And so
how about that?
Yeah. And so my daughter we were always practicing at the Riverdale facility. And so we was always there. And so it's kind of, what was neat about it is he was part of my daughter's athletic time as well. And I mean, when Kaylee saw him, it was instant, like, gravitated toward, yep. 100%.
She called him coach? She called him Weave.
She called him Weave. Yeah. 100% though. She gravitated toward him. And then by the time he had, come back to Manchester, and Jeff had gone on to MTSU or whatever, my son was coming up through football and baseball, and like they loved each other. That's just, that was really, Hayden was his every year mulch guy, in that ridiculous garden he would put behind his house. And,
yes.
Did all his mowing and weed eating. And so, I was talking to my wife about coming on here. I said, what would you have to say about Weave? And she goes, I think outside of me and you, I feel like Weave was our kid's greatest fan. And that, so that was pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, you're going to make me cry. That's a great thing to have someone say.
Sure enough. But that's the way he was. But now he was black and white too. He didn't sugarcoat. And, I appreciate conversations like that I heard
candor.
That I had overheard him have with my daughter and overheard him have with my son, during times of struggling pitching, when Kayla was in the circle, to the same thing with Hayden, when he was coming up. But it's kind of a, our relationship has been personal for a long time. And so, of course, I remember him, I have to think back on it, but I remember him calling, "Hey, we're going to start the show. Why don't you and Hayden kick it off?" And it was partly because I was hiring the football coach during that time.
And he wanted to hear the scoop.
He wanted to know the scoop and all that was going on. But, it really wasn't an ask, when Weave called me and told me we were doing it. I was like, whatever you need me to do, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling Holly in the last hour, and I may have said it to you before. I don't know. Rob and I own the station, and I did sign the checks, but I worked for Weave.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's a situation where you knew he'd take care of things. I mean, so.
No.
Yeah.
You knew he would do absolutely everything the exact right way it was supposed to be. You just hoped you could keep up.
For real. I mean, we would, when Hayden was playing baseball and he would come run the show up in the press box, because I'd be running the scoreboard. It just amazed me how quick-witted
that guy's brain.
It just operated so fast. I couldn't even I couldn't even process at the speed which remarks were coming out. You know, it was just amazing. It really was.
Back in the day when I would host the morning show, if I needed a co-host, he was always my number one go-to. I would always ask him, be like, can you work it out? Can you get here? Because he had a job. I mean,
Sure.
he had this full-time job at the base and it did really important work. But he was always my number one. And I told him before, I could never afford him, but I would have wanted him to be my permanent co-host. Sure. He was just the funniest, wittiest, most creative, fun brain I'd ever come across. And that's radio gold.
Yeah, I can believe that. You know, another thing is that he knew the backgrounds of so many kids' deals. You know what I mean? Like when he was talking about a kid, he knew what happened the year before. I mean, he could always relate to, or maybe he just had a great memory and could remember the things that took place for certain kids or athletes to get to the point that they were. And so he had so much relative information. And I think that's why people connected so well, is like, he wasn't just telling you what was going on right now. He was telling you about, hey, you know, the hardships this kid come from, look what they're doing now. I mean, that was the cool thing about Weave. It's like, he's just this plethora of memories, you know, and he
took the time to get to know the details.
Yeah.
And he didn't forget them.
That's the thing, he didn't forget. That's what I have trouble with.
That guy's brain.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But he was committed to that. I mean, he knew that was his gift. I mean, that was a gift for him. It really was. And I think he made the most of it.
So they're not listening.
Yeah.
So let's talk about him, shall we?
Yeah.
So Josh and Holly Peterson, you know, we've passed away. That means we got money. Thanks to the money. 728-1320. Please call and pledge. They were floored with the workload that his passing left.
Sure.
They were
big gap.
Huge gap. And so you're a bystander. You've seen what they've done, how they picked up the ball. What do you think we would say?
I think we would be embarrassed at the riches that have come from the situation.
The foundation.
Yeah. I mean, I just, it's not, I don't think it's anything that he would have wanted, you know what I mean? So,
but we don't care.
Yeah. But nonetheless, I think that, I think he would be embarrassed if he knew how many kids were benefiting from, living off the joy and memories of, you know, what he was able to, the time with us that, you know, he was able to give to so many. So
I think he would hate the spotlight. He never wanted it to be about him. He always wanted it to be about the kids.
Sure.
But we get to hear people say his name.
Yeah.
And the kids benefit. So you know, you can see that angle, right?
Well, you know, unfortunately, it's just the law of the land. As years go by, there's going to be fewer and fewer years where people remember firsthand knowledge of, you know, people that have passed and stuff. And so this is a great opportunity. The foundation is, you know, it's a lot like Dusty Elam Foundation. You know, years later, they're still laying that groundwork and that, you know,
they still get to say Dusty's name.
There's still the importance of that foundation and understanding, you know, why it's so beneficial. And I think the Weave Foundation is on track to kind of mimic and follow that same. And so, you know, 10 years down the road when kids are still benefiting from this and maybe their parents had opportunity to have interaction with Weave, they didn't, you know? And so, you know, this is opportunity to once again, kind of shine a light on one of our community members that had a focus on youth. And, you know, and I think that's right where he wanted to be while he was alive. That his focus wanted to be on the youth, you know, so that's good stuff.
You have an interesting perspective because you knew Weave in a lot of different ways.
Yep.
Favorite story?
Favorite story.
Putting you on the spot.
No, I'm telling you, probably one of some of the best feelings was not just my interaction with Weave, but just understanding my son Hayden and his relationship with Weave. Like Weave, completely overpaid the kid more
for
than
the work that he
for the
lawn
work
stuff.
He did. And then his wife comes in and he's always coming home with bags of cookies that his wife would cook.
Kristen cooked. Yeah.
Which according to him, We've said was not allowed to share. Seriously, I mean, it was something like that.
They spoiled him.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, you can't, you know, as a parent, you can't have enough people care about your kid. That's just if you will realize that, that not enough people can care about your kid. And so, it's the whole thing about talking about a village. We wasn't blood, he wasn't kin, but he was part of the village that chose to be an integral part of inputting into kids' lives, being a part that way, So I think that's important. And we have to appreciate those situations when these come about, for sure. So that's what I probably appreciated the most out of Weave, is that he took the relationship that we had and like fostered grandkids, my kids, in kind of that light.
Aw.
I feel like because of that. And so, that's just good stuff. It really is.
Thanks for sharing
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
So you've come up through sports. You played sports. Your kids have played sports. You've seen. We're supposed to ask for money here, so I'm
Yeah.
going to pull you
Sure,
into the
sure.
asking for money. It's a radiothon, and we're asking for money. Call now 728-1320. 72. The phone's ringing. The phone is ringing. They're just talking. They're just talking over there, not paying attention to the phone. And we're working so hard
working
here,
hard.
Mr.
Yeah,
Skipper.
absolutely.
You've come up through sports. As a kid who played sports, you've seen your kids play sports. Not every family can afford the equipment for their child to play. You've seen it.
Mhm.
It's a tough thing.
It is, but the We Foundation is actually a prime example of, and I really believe this, of a mindset that we do have in Coffee County, is that being able to afford something is not going to be a reason. That's just, I know when I was athletic director, that was one of our mottos was, because a kid can't afford something that's not going to be a reason that they don't do it. Like, we'll figure out how to make it work after the fact. And I just think that's important. We are not all in the same boats financially. But our kids are all the same as kids, and they deserve the same opportunities. And so, yeah, I think, like I said, this foundation adds tremendous value to folks that maybe just need a little help. And quite honestly, a lot of those low income families, their children are as trying to think how the right way to say this, as likely to be extremely successful, because any kid that has to overcome things that other kids don't have to overcome,
Builds character.
It builds character.
It builds drive. It builds.
And so if the character is being built, and all there is a little hurdle, a financial hurdle, that's pitiful if we let that be the reason, that a kid didn't get to go on to the next level or whatever it was.
Don't let that be the reason,
Yeah.
friends. This is the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon. We are asking for your donations. This is how we raise money to be able to help kids get into the game. Reese's Jeans Boutique has generously offered to match this hour, and we're taking your calls. Call 728-1320. You can also Venmo Dream 4 Weave, and if you know how to Venmo, you're supposed to know what that means. I don't. You can swing by the station. We've got snacks. We've got goodies. Were you snacking out there, Mr. Skipper?
There was a box of cookies. Yes.
My mother made those cookies
Okay.
and dropped them by.
Well, some of them may leave with me.
My mother will love hearing that.
Yes.
She will love that.
Delicious.
Her baking is how she shows love.
What?
She'll bake food.
Well, listen, I feel love when I offer people like to bake.
You've been to the Thundies?
I have not.
Have you heard about the Thundies?
Oh, of course I have. Yeah.
What's the kind of feedback you've heard?
Oh, listen, here's the thing. There is so much value to any level of success that kids can experience young. I'm a firm believer in that. Like learning how to deal with success early, benefiting from successful opportunities early, builds a drive and a strive for kids as they get older. I just really believe that. I mean, it's almost like,
it's like you taste that cookie
yeah,
and then you want more.
Want more. That's it. Exactly right. And our kids need to experience success, because there's a lot of struggles, sure. But there's also a lot of different measures of success that we can put our kids in different situations to experience that, and so I think that's good stuff,
Mr. Richard Skipper, we really appreciate you joining us.
Well, I appreciate you guys inviting me. Like I said, anything I could do, it's a great foundation, and really, really, really super proud of Josh and Holly for,
I'm so proud of
heading
these
this up.
kids.
Yeah. I mean,
they work really, really hard.
Absolutely.
I think we would be proud too.
I think you would. I think I think, when you used to turn on the radio and know that Weave was going to be at a local sport event, like that's one thing that he was always somewhere. And sometimes it might be soccer, middle school soccer. I mean, or it
True
could
that.
be, it could be a baseball game that's sixth grader. And so, I'm glad to see that Holly and Josh saw the importance of that, and they continue to go to those, those minor or younger sports, however you want to look at it. I think that's important.
I think so too. Thank you so much for being with us.
Sure.
And supporting the Dream for We Foundation and sharing the memories of Dennis Weaver.
All right.
We appreciate you so much. Stick around and stay tuned. We're going to get some numbers updates about how much the Dream for We Foundation has collected. And we are asking for your donations. The Dream for We Foundation Radiothon continues. We're here until 6 p.m. tonight. Reese's Jeans Boutique has graciously offered to match donations. What's that amount that Reese's Jeans has committed to matching?
They're matching up to $500.
Oh my
This hour.
goodness.
Yeah, so
generous.
yes, big thanks to them for that. And I'm gonna get you an update, Tiffany. Give me like 20 seconds, okay?
No, that's fine. So there's something that I've been seeing in here. I think when I went to leave the radio station the last time, I think Josh orchestrated people recording things and he put it in my show so they could hear it. And I see one here, it says Weave on it. But I don't know what it says.
Tiff, Doug, just wanted to call in. This is Weavelicious, by the way, in case you forget who it is. And thank you so much for that nickname. I get called that in public, and it's not so bad, except when it comes from an 85-year-old man. But thank you so much for everything that you've done. The morning show has been entertaining sometimes. And Tiff, you still, to this day, I don't care how long you guys were on the air together, you never could stop Doug from interrupting you, even though you have the dump button. So I haven't figured that one quite out yet. But I know that as you go into the next chapters in your life, I wish you the very best. You will be missed. Thanks so much for everything that you did for me and for my family. And you will leave a legacy, and hope that we get to hear you again in some capacity again someday. Thanks.
Why'd you play that for?
I've been wanting to hear it.
Well,
I didn't know what it was.
Why'd you play that for?
I didn't remember what it said.
Don't play that and then start crying. Look what you've done. Everybody was having a good time. Everybody was having a good time.
I'm going to punch in your other kidney.
Yeah. Well, so how about that? And now you're back on the radio. He said, hope to hear you again sometime. Now you're back. All right. So let's get an update on money. How about that? So Reese's Jeans is matching $500 this hour. This hour, we have managed to pull down $965.
Wow.
So when we throw their match
this hour?
Yes. $965 this hour. So a good hour. Big thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, Rhonda McCormick, $50. Jackson Ham, $15. Ben Shimwell, $100. Mike Jernigan, $100. Al White Ford Lincoln contributed a couple $100. And then we had a $500 anonymous donation that came in. We had one of those last hour too, so a couple of big ones. And then Reese's Jeans, we'll go ahead and put their $500 match in there. That's going to bring our total for the day to $12,310. So we busted through our goal of $12,000. So good day so far. So hopefully, and we still got,
Thank you, friends.
And we still got the rest of the 4 o'clock hour and the 5 o'clock hour left. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can truck on to 13,000.
This is a radiothon, folks, and I need you to come over here and plug that thing in for the break. I put that there. It doesn't belong there. I like getting a point and then tell them what to do. That part's really super fun. Thank you so much to Reese's Jeans Boutique for that $500 match. It's just so incredibly generous. We do have an interview coming up later in the hour. We have Andrew Taylor in person. Coach, we're excited to talk to him. He seems very excited to be here.
He got here early. He's been here for like 2 hours.
He's been here for a while. I heard there were snacks. I mean, there are snacks here. If you want to stop by the Thunder Studios and pledge to the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon, we will feed you. We will feed you donuts and barbecue sandwiches and fruit and chips and all kinds of fun. There are cupcakes out there. There's some of my mom's cookies, or did Mr. Skipper steal them all? It's hard to say, but we've got more coming your way on the Dream for Weave Foundation. It's a radiothon. We need your money. So call now, 728-1320, and help us out. Help us get kids in the game.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. The Senate talking about a proposed bill that would reduce the standard work week to 32 hours while maintaining the same level of wages. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders says his bill to establish a 4-day work week is not radical. It would lead to a better quality of life for millions of Americans.
Many of our people are exhausted. We work the longest hours of any people in the industrialized world. I think it's time for a shortened work week.
Critics of this bill warn not every company can afford to reduce work hours while maintaining the same level of wages. The Biden administration sanctioning 3 Israeli West Bank settlers and their outposts for violence against Palestinians. State Department spokesperson Matt Miller defending the move, saying it was essential to maintain peace.
This violence risks destabilizing the West Bank and obstructs efforts to advance a pathway to peace and security for Israelis and Palestinians through a 2-state solution.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer suggesting that there be some political changes in Israel. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, another update from the WMSR Thunder Radio News Center.
With your daily free news update from Thunder Radio, I'm Tiffany Clutter, and this news update is brought to you by Spring Street Market, 801 South Spring Street in Manchester, open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And here's today's news update. Commodities are set to be distributed in Manchester. There's an open house at TCAT McMinnville. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has sent National Guard to the U.S. southern border. Roger Chambers has been appointed to the Coffee County Commission seat number 2. Find more details to these news stories and so much more by going to our website, thunder1320.com. Doritos extra large bag, Hawaiian slider roll tray, Hungry Man entrees. All these items are on sale this week at Spring Street Market. See the terrific sales ad at thunder1320.com.
People's Bank of Trust of Manchester present your daily sports blast on Thunder Radio. I'm Josh Peterson. 2 Coffee County pitchers combined for a no-hitter, and the Lady Raider softball team easily dispatched of Spring Hill in their district opener on Wednesday, March the 13th. Game you heard live on Thunder Radio. Lily Norman was basically perfect in her 3 innings in the circle, striking out all 9 Spring Hill batters she saw. Caitlin Anderson tossed a clean inning in relief. Offensively, Coffee County pounded out 13 hits, including 6 extra base hits. High school boys tennis got a 6-1 win over Franklin County on Wednesday. Girls tennis falling 3-4. Coffee Middle School baseball falling to Stewart's Creek in non-conference action 11-6. And coming up Thursday night, Coffee County High School baseball will be at Middle Tennessee Christian at 7 o'clock. Coffee Middle School softball hosting Franklin County. Middle School tennis will be hosting Moore County. Westwood baseball will be hosting Winchester Christian. Westwood softball will be at Community. And high school soccer will be at Shelbyville. More sports at thunder1320.com.
Now from Thunder Radio WMSR, your latest local weather.
Sunny with a high in the upper 70s today. Overnight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms with increasing clouds and a low around 60 degrees. Being a better you isn't a New Year's resolution. It's a lifetime commitment. Nutritional meal planning available at Workout Anytime. $1 enrollment if you mention Thunder Radio at Workout Anytime behind Zaxby's in Manchester. I'm Jackson Ham from the Thunder Radio Weather Center.
Join Thunder Radio and the Dream for We Foundation for our annual Radiothon, Thursday, March 14th, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Getting Kids in the Game Radiothon will be a lively all-day event raising funds to support the nonprofit foundation and its mission of providing Coffee County athletes with the scholarships, necessary gear, and registration fees so that anyone who wants to play sports in Coffee County has the opportunity. You can make the difference on Thursday, March 14th, only on Thunder Radio.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
Thank you for tuning into your hometown station, Thunder Radio. It is a thrilling Thunder Radio Thursday. Tiffany here inside the Thunder Studios. We are smack dab in the middle of the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon. We're trying to raise money to fund all the efforts of the Dream for We Foundation that helps with kids' scholarships and getting kids into sports and helping families perhaps pay for camp fees and cleats and ball gloves and all kinds of things. So Reese's Jeans Boutique has generously offered a $500 match to match up to $500 for this hour. Please help us and donate. Every dollar counts. There is no donation too small. Please call us at 728-1320 and help us get to our goal. We'll be here till 6:00 tonight. And I'm honored to have with us Coach Andrew Taylor. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am great. Tell folks what you coach.
Well, currently I'm the head volleyball coach and the head boys basketball coach at Coffee County Central High School.
You said currently. Does that mean you've coached nearly everything?
Well, I've coached a little football, believe it or not, boys basketball, girls basketball, volleyball, track. I think that may be it.
Is that all?
I think that's about all you can get into 27 years, I guess.
So as coach, now correct me if I'm wrong. I think you were honored at the Thundies. Were you not?
Yes, the first year we had the Thundies.
What award did you receive?
Coach of the Year, I think.
It's a pretty good award.
Well, I had a fantastic group of young men that made it to the state basketball tournament, and you know you don't get award in coaching without really good kids and really good players. So, we got the team award that year at the Thundies, and also lucky enough to get the Coach of the Year award, which we have a lot of good coaches at the high school, but I was happy to receive that in the first year of the Thundies just because what the Thundies and the We Foundation mean to all of us.
You're on the board.
Yes, ma'am.
And so when Josh approached you about being on the board, what were your thoughts?
Well, I was excited about the opportunity because I'd known We for a long time. He was a family friend, went to high school with my uncles, and then coached my wife in softball. And then I knew Weave, obviously when he was doing radio and I was coaching, he was covering our games. And then we've had some softball connections with my oldest daughter, Tori, when she was coming through high school playing softball and tournament ball and everything. So I've known Weave, in a lot of different capacities professionally, as a friend, as a coach, when my wife came through, and then again, and when Tori came through. So had a long relationship with Weave, and, tremendous sense of humor, tremendous work ethic. And we just felt like his heart was always in the right place. So it was an honor to be asked to be part of this group. They're a phenomenal group of people.
Thanks for being on the board. And when you explain to folks what the Dream for We Foundation is, what are the words you use?
Well, just an opportunity to help young people get involved in sports. I've spent all my professional life in sports, and of course, as a child growing up playing sports, and we just feel like sports have so much to offer. Work ethic, teamwork, accountability, dealing with adversity, good times, bad times. So, when asked to get involved with this organization and be part of it and everything it could mean to a young person to be part of a team, and get to play and get to be involved and get to experience, different moments in athletics, whether it's winning the championship or dealing with a tough loss or overcoming adversity. It's, our chance to, just improve overall as a person. I knew it was going to be something good.
It has been pretty good.
It's been really good.
Did you hear our totals so far for the day?
Yes.
I'm the generosity of this community is just astounding to me. I feel, I just feel so proud of this community.
Oh, no doubt. I talk about this quite a bit because coaching multiple sports for multiple years, you go to a lot of different communities and you see a lot of different situations, and we are blessed, the people of this community. And I know we're growing, and people talk about growth, and that's good, but I really, really hope we're able to retain this hometown feeling and this willingness to help our neighbor, which is, what everybody's doing today. We're reaching out to young people. that are our neighbors and making sure they have what they need.
Oh, I like the neighbor word. I think that sums it up pretty good. This is a community of good neighbors
Yes.
and helping each other out with the Dream for We Foundation and helping kids play sports, or whether it's the Dusty Elam Foundation, which is a tremendous organization. It's just an example of how to be a great neighbor and helping those that might need to step up.
Yeah, and they always do. I mean, in all the years I've been involved with athletics at the high school classroom or athletics, I don't think I've ever been told no when it came to helping a young person. Somebody in this community will find a way to make it happen for our young people, and that's impressive.
So certainly you've been a guest on the Coffee Coaches Show with Dennis Weaver, and then since with Josh Peterson. What's that experience like as a coach?
Well, anytime you get to talk about your kids and your program, it's a good day. It's a good day. You know, as a grandparent now, you love the opportunity to talk about your grandkid. And as a coach, you love the opportunity to talk about your players and get them on the radio. You know, these young kids grow up now more than ever seeing celebrities in social medias and doing interviews and videos of their famous athletes. And now they're the one being interviewed. So it's a big deal for them, which is good. Recognition for them, which is good, because our athletes put in long hours and they work really, really hard to represent this community in a good way. So anytime you can be on the Coaches Show and talk about your kids and let your kids get on there, and Weave did a tremendous job getting this thing going, him and Rob, and then Josh and Holly have been phenomenal keeping it going. So it's always good when the call comes in and the invite to be on the Coaches Show.
True confession. I'm not a sports person. Sports is super not my thing.
Right.
Anytime my kids were in sports, I would go and watch their sport. But I'm not that sporty person. And I would tune into the Coaches Show.
Yeah.
Because it's so fun.
Yeah.
Because Dennis Weaver would ask those kids some of the craziest questions, and I would laugh out loud at the responses. I can remember him asking a 5th grader, "Are you married?
Yeah.
Got any kids?" It would just catch you off guard, and I would just laugh out loud at his ability to make the show fun for any listener, whether you were into local sports or not. And I wasn't, and I'm not, but it's a fun show.
It is. And I mean, just from the way he introduced the show and the location on the show and banks in the river and across from all
The
that
luxurious,
and
the luxurious hotel.
yeah. And you're, the fast forward and your chairs have been electrified and you got to tell the truth. But he was really good, and Josh as well, he could tell the kids were nervous sometimes if you've never been on the radio.
Yeah.
And he had a really good way of getting them to ease into it. And before it was over, the kids were just laughing and having a good time. And it was a good visit and a good conversation.
I remember him saying to one kid, "Is this your first time on the radio?" The kid says, "Yeah." And we says, "Yeah, me too." And then he goes right into the show, and boom, there it is.
Yep.
I mean, just he was one of the funniest human beings I have. Just the quickest wit. That guy's brain.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal. He could have done stand up any night of the week.
No doubt. Just great one-liners about always a nice little gig at maybe your rival next door, or we're going to Grundy so you don't have to, or whatever the word for car wash.
Telehoma's the Indian word for car wash.
Yeah. I mean, just country's 4 rows of okra. I mean, there's just all kinds of weavisms, if you want to call them.
I love weavisms.
Yeah, that was just good. But it was all in good fun. I mean, he was a very entertaining person to talk with.
I never met anybody that said, "Oh, I can't stand that guy."
No.
I mean, never once.
No. And he was doing, in my opinion, he was doing what he was sitting here to do because of his voice.
Yeah.
His voice is like, it didn't take but a couple of seconds of hearing that voice and you knew what station you were on and who you were listening to. So that was his thing, and that's what he was fantastic at.
The Dream for We Foundation. This is the Radiothon. We're here till 6 p.m. We're asking for your donations. Please call now at 728-1320. We do have operators standing by willing to take your call. Reese's Jeans Boutique has graciously offered to match any donations up to $500 for this hour. We're just so grateful for that. The Thundies are coming up, and you're on the board. of the Dream for We Foundation, and so the Thundies May 18th. So what have you heard? What are the plans so far? What do you know?
Well, I know it's the 18th this year. Not this year. I haven't had a chance to be quite as involved. I think they've already had some meetings, and I know it's something I'm getting ready for in terms of it's marked on the calendar, and it's one of those do not miss things.
Do not miss.
Because it's anytime you can recognize these young people, and it's really interested to see a lot of them dressed up. Because as coaches, we see them, most of them, day in, day out in practice gear
Sweaty
and sweat,
and dirty, yes.
sweaty, dirty, red pants if they've been to a softball or baseball game, or, grass stains with the football uniform and the pads and all the sweat and the helmets and all that kind of stuff. So it's really neat to just watch them all dress up.
Watching when their cowboy boots and their hair whooped up.
That's right.
Pretty fun. So the year that you were awarded, and they kept it a big secret from you. I mean, because you're on the board, and here you won this Sunday, and it was a big secret. They kept it from you, and then your team won. What was the response from your team? These kids.
Well, they were happy. I think they were happy because they realized the work that we all put into it. I mean, I think our coaching staff, I have a phenomenal coaching staff, George and Ben and Jackson. And Jackson was on earlier today. Jackson Vaughn was on talking earlier today. I think they just appreciate the work that we put into it. And I think they were happy for us coaches for the recognition that we got, and based off what they accomplished. But we all worked together. We all spent a lot of time together. So, I think they were truly, happy for us and excited. And, we were proud and somewhat embarrassed because we do have so many, great coaches at our school. And, just Coach McWhorter, their softball's in the state on a regular basis. And Coach Cope's winning 25 to 30 ball games. So to be recognized, was an honor, and, a little bit embarrassing, but we were appreciative.
You're not really a tap dancing type of a guy, are you?
No. I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough. No, it's a cool event. It is coming up May the 18th, and it's a terrific opportunity for the Dream for We Foundation to bestow terrific awards to excellent athletes in our community, and bestow scholarships to deserving applicants. And it's just you can't leave that fun event and not have a smile on your face and feel great about where you live.
Yeah, it's truly a special night. I'm glad that they came up with the idea to start putting this event on. Glad that I got to be involved with it, and I think it just recognizes the best and the brightest of our young people in the community. And I think the whole foundation of giving, all the businesses and all the adults and all we refer to them as neighbors that give to this foundation, I think that shows our young people a good example of what, how you should be, how you should look out for others. So I think the adults that are behind this, Josh, Holly, the board members that are putting all this together, and the people that donate today and donate to other things, I think a lot of it's just a really good example for our young people coming up.
I like the way you look at that. And I think you're right.
I think they'll give back. I think the Jackson Vaughns and the Annas and the Abby Clarks of the world that have been on today, I think the example that's been put before them by the people in our community, I think when they get the opportunity, they're going to give back. It'll just keep going.
Forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep going, hopefully.
Oh, I really like that. I like that a lot.
Well, it's the community we're in.
Okay, you may not be much of a tap dancer, but you're great at this word thing.
Well, I don't know about that.
Putting great words together.
Never been much of a speaker, I guess.
I appreciate you.
Well,
thank you so much for being a part of this organization and serving on the board. I know you're a busy guy. Whoa. This is about your volleyball team. The volleyball team gave $2,000 at the fundraiser. Explain to me how this happened.
Okay, so
how your volleyball team got together to do this.
Well, we host a varsity volleyball tournament every fall, and we decided a couple years ago that we were going to take some proceeds from the tournament we hosted and donate to the foundation, because the foundation, through scholarships and other ways, they've supported players of ours, in our volleyball program. whether it was helping a young person with a camp fee or, various other things. The foundation's been good to us. So in turn, we put a varsity tournament on in the fall, and it continues to grow. It got up to 20 teams last year.
20 teams.
Yeah, so we had 20 teams
Here?
Yes, and Manchester showed up.
Wow.
So and we've got it scheduled. We've already got teams signing up for this fall. So it allowed us to make a donation to the foundation, which, we were glad to do because, like I guess kept saying, our community is just so good to our program and so good to our athletes and our young ladies, want to give back. So
I think that's such a creative way to give
Yes.
back. I mean, and that's a circle. It's
Right.
making a circle, and it's so creative. And ultimately, as a coach, isn't your goal to get your kids the opportunity to play as much as possible?
Mm-hmm.
And
It
so
is.
the tournament just helps with that as well.
Yes.
So creative.
And we get a chance to play here. So in
Home
front of
advantage.
and allows our folks to come out and support our young people. People in the community come out and watch and see teams from various. And last year we had a team from Alabama, had a team come down from Kentucky. So, you get to see a lot of good volleyball, but just having something here, promoting the sport, promoting our kids again. Every time we get a chance to promote our kids, we're going to do it. So their folks get to come out because it's on a Saturday. A lot of our matches during the week are Tuesday, Thursday, and not everybody can get off work in time to get to the gym. So this is on a Saturday, and it's all day long, so they have a chance to drop by. But, yeah, just a good chance to give back.
Andrew Taylor, Coach Andrew Taylor, so much generosity from your team, willing to give some proceeds to the Dream for We Foundation and help us get kids in the game. I just love how that comes full circle. I think that's just the best story.
Well, we're fortunate. We're fortunate for our community and the job and the opportunity to work with all these young people. So we're blessed. So we just pay it back.
I appreciate you so much. We're going to take a call from Tiffany Hoyne from Reese's Jeans Boutique. Miss Tiffany, you have a wonderful name.
Thank you.
Number 3. Number 2. I'm Tiffany as well, and we're here at the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon, and Reese's Jeans Boutique has pledged to match $500.
Yes, we're excited.
Well, my goodness, it's so incredibly generous of you. Obviously, Reese's Jeans Boutique has been through a lot in the past couple of years, and your new location, and you're reaching out to help us help kids, and I can't tell you how thankful we are for that.
Well, I thank you guys, and thank you for looking out for the young athletes. I think it's amazing what you guys are doing, and I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Well, Tiffany Hoyne, thank you so much at Reese's Jeans Boutique. We appreciate that you offer our community an opportunity to shop local and spend our tax dollars here for your terrific products and your apparel. And thanks for being a terrific community partner and really stepping up to help us with the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Anytime. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Yep.
Well, the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon continues on your hometown station, Thunder Radio. Stick around and stay tuned. Josh, are you going to give me an update? Is that what we're doing now?
As soon as I hit the right button, hang up that phone.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we just had another one come in. We're not quite got that processed yet. So we'll just let everybody know where we are now. Actually, I don't think it changed. Let's add in the Reese's Jeans match. I think we've already kind of put that number out there. Yeah, 12,013 or 12,310. So that's where we were a minute ago. So 12,310. We got an hour left. We do have another donation coming in right now, and Holly's getting that worked on. So we're going to have more added to that. So we got a whole another hour left. We're so close to that 13,000 number, right? So about
we are so close.
$700 off. So get those phones going for the last hour.
728-1320 is the number to call. There is no dollar amount too small.
We could $5 and $10 it all the way up there.
Absolutely.
So bring it in, and we saved the best guest for last. We got Terry Weaver coming in.
I can't wait because you know he sounds so much like Dennis
I
Weaver.
know it's going to be great. It's going to be great, and he's got good stories too.
I mean, he's got all the stories.
Yeah, he's got all the stories, all the dirt, all the good stuff, and he knows everything about this radio station. Like he's in here telling me the teletype machine used to be in this closet, and I'm like I don't know anything about none of that. So
You don't even know what a telescope. You're 12. You don't know what a
I
telescope
don't,
machine is.
but he does. So you could talk to him about that. But yeah, we're so close. Y'all get on the phones and get on this and give us cash and check pledges. At 728-1320. We can take your credit card over the phone as well. We got an hour left. We've been here since 6 o'clock this morning. It's been a long day.
I can't believe you're still standing.
My voice is wavering. Morning show tomorrow is going to be tough, but we'll make it happen somehow.
Maybe you can sign language it.
Probably that's what we'll do. We'll do it on the video.
It's too bad you know just such limited amount of sign language. Now, what's that cart called? I need to put in here.
This is ready.
Is it?
Yeah,
is it though? It is. All right. We're asking for your dollars to help us get to our goal. Stick around and stay tuned. I'm going to let Weave talk.
For the CTC championship game, Tullahoma is the Indian word for car wash.
I believe you can get me through the night. Ooh, a dream weaver.
7 seconds to go. Farrell into the paint. She ran over. That's got to be a charge. It's an offensive foul call. Garrettson takes the charge. Farrell picks up her third. 3 seconds to go in the game. Coffee County is going to win it. It stays deep wherever I'm at. Protective footwear is recommended.
Voice of the Red Raiders, Mr. Dennis Weaver.
I want to appreciate those that are watching in on Raider TV, especially Tom Myers, who's tuned in. High kickoff for Riverdale. It's going to hit at the 20 and be picked up on the bounce by C.J. Anthony. He's across the 25, and he's pushed down into out on the 30-yard line. I think they'll spot him at the 30, and that's where we get underway.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320. Broadcasting from the Unity Medical Center studios.
We're your friends. We're your neighbors. Locally owned and operated. Thunder Radio. WMSR Manchester.
Now, another update from the WMSR Thunder Radio News Center.
With your daily free news update from Thunder Radio, I'm Tiffany Clutter, and this news update is brought to you by Spring Street Market, 801 South Spring Street in Manchester, open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And here's today's news update. Commodities are set to be distributed in Manchester. The South Central Human Resources Agency has announced that the U.S. Department of Agriculture will distribute commodities on Thursday, March the 21st. Eligible area residents are invited to attend on a first-come, first-served basis, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. The distribution will be held at the Ada Wright Center, 328 North Woodland Street in Manchester. Eligibility will be based on total household income that is within the income guidelines. Anyone receiving aid from one of the following programs is eligible for USDA commodities: SNAP, Families First, SSI, LIHEAP, or proof of residency in public housing. There's an open house at TCAT McMinnville. The Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT, in McMinnville is excited to announce an open house event at the McMinnville campus at 241 Votech Drive in McMinnville on March 19th from 4 to 6 p.m. Participants can take a tour of the campus, tour the programs, and meet the instructors. Learn more about the programs offered and enter to win door prizes. For additional information on the full range of programs, visit tcatmcminnville.edu. TCAT McMinnville offers 12 career and technical education programs in a broad range of high-demand, high-wage fields at affordable tuition rates. Many students attend tuition-free through Tennessee Promise for new high school graduates and TCAT Reconnect for adults with no college degree or other post-secondary credential. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has sent National Guard to the U.S. southern border. The governor recently visited Tennessee National Guard soldiers at the Millington, Tennessee Army National Guard Armory ahead of their deployment to the nation's southern border in the wake of the most severe border crisis the United States has experienced in decades. The governor posted on social media, quote, "As America faces the most severe border crisis in decades, Tennessee is showing the rest of the country what it means to lead. Today, I joined the Tennessee National Guard members who will soon deploy on a voluntary mission to secure the southern border as the federal government fails to act, end quote. Last month, Governor Lee committed to deploying 2 waves of state active duty soldiers to Texas to assist in their efforts as the Tennessee Department of Military continues to coordinate with Texas to determine areas of greatest need. This is the first deployment of approximately 50 Tennessee National Guard members who volunteered to join Operation Lone Star. Find out more about this story at our website. Go to thunder1320.com. Roger Chambers has been appointed to the Coffee County Commission seat number 2. At the March 12th Coffee County Commission meeting, a unanimous vote by the commission appointed Roger Chambers to the seat number 2 of the Coffee County Commission. The seat was vacated by the death of Coffee County Commissioner Claude Morse last fall. Commissioner Dennis Hunt had this to say.
We addressed this issue at our last meeting, and we postponed the appointment to the vacancy because of the primary election process was such a short time away. We felt like the people in that community, in that district, would make their choice at the polls, and they did so. Mr. Chambers won the primary, which means he will be officially certified as a commissioner for that seat in August. But we are going to ahead and appoint him tonight to fill the vacancy until which time the election commission certifies his position.
Commissioner Chambers was sworn in and immediately took his seat on the commission. Find more details to these news stories and so much more by going to our website, thunder1320.com. Doritos extra large bag, Hawaiian slider roll tray, Hungry Man entrees. All these items are on sale this week at Spring Street Market. See the terrific sales ad at thunder1320.com.
People Thank and Trust to Manchester. Present your daily sports blast on Thunder Radio. I'm Josh Peterson. 2 Coffee County pitchers combined for a no-hitter, and the Lady Raider softball team easily dispatched of Spring Hill in their district opener on Wednesday, March the 13th. Game you heard live on Thunder Radio. Lily Norman was basically perfect in her 3 innings in the circle, striking out all 9 Spring Hill batters she saw. Caitlin Anderson tossed a clean inning in relief. Offensively, Coffee County pounded out 13 hits, including 6 extra base hits. High school boys tennis got a 6-1 win over Franklin County on Wednesday. Girls tennis falling 3-4. Coffee Middle School baseball falling to Stewart's Creek in non-conference action 11-6. And coming up Thursday night, Coffee County High School baseball will be at Middle Tennessee Christian at 7 o'clock. Coffee Middle School softball hosting Franklin County. Middle School tennis will be hosting Moore County. Westwood baseball will be hosting Winchester Christian. Westwood softball will be at Community, and high school soccer will be at Shelbyville. More sports at thunder1320.com.
Now from Thunder Radio WMSR, your latest local weather.
Sunny with a high in the upper 70s today. Overnight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms with increasing clouds and a low around 60 degrees. Being a better you isn't a New Year's resolution. It's a lifetime commitment. Nutritional meal planning available at Workout Anytime. $1 enrollment if you mention Thunder Radio at Workout Anytime behind Zaxby's in Manchester. I'm Jackson Ham from the Thunder Radio Weather Center.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
A thrilling Thunder Radio Thursday. There's not a better day for the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon. Radiothon isn't a real word, and yet here we are. Tiffany here inside the Thunder Studios, not for Connecting Coffee County, but for the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon. We're asking for your help, your donations to help us get kids in the game. We have with us Terry Weaver. Sir?
Hi.
Cut it out. Have you been so looking forward to this day?
I actually have. Can I ask you something before we start?
5'1.5".
Okay. No. The rings. What's up with it? Could you not find any big enough?
Really?
They only go in. Is that a thing? Is
it a Weaver family thing to just pick and pick and pick and pick, and it's like being pecked to death by a duck? Is that a Weaver family thing? Or
Pretty
just
much,
for
yeah.
you and your brother Dennis Weaver?
You should have met my dad.
Mm.
Our dad. Well, maybe you shouldn't have. But yeah, we got it from him.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to ask you some really tough questions.
Mm-hmm.
We may both end up in tears. It could happen.
Oh.
What do you, I mean, losing Dennis was shocking. So unexpected.
Yeah.
I hate it every day.
Yep. Yeah.
But what do you think about this foundation? What do you think about his name on this? What do you think about all these kids that get to hear his name and hear about his legacy? Tell me what that does.
Well, funny thing is, he's been gone this summer be 4 years. Had a bell.
The bell means we got money. So that's a radiothon and we need money. 728-1320, please. Operators are standing by.
Well,
Nearly 4 years.
Yeah. And I got to thinking there's a lot of these, most kids at the high school now never had him at the booth when they played.
Right.
Unless he called one of their middle school games.
Which he was a likely suspect.
Right. But I wonder sometimes if I was to get one of the teams together and say, how many of you never met him? How many of you were never on the coach's show when he was there? And, I mean, that's kind of tough. I'm thrilled to death of what the foundation's doing for the community. Because, Josh will send out the emails and stuff and say, look, we've got this person that needs this. And I always feel good. I don't think I've ever turned down, said no to any of them. And I don't know if anybody's ever had a no vote on anything that I remember. And,
like, so if someone says, this kid needs cleats, should we do it? Your vote is always yes. This kid needs a camp.
Yeah.
Your vote is always yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it has been so far, and I can't see of a reason why it wouldn't be, because the folks that have come to us for someone else for help or whatever, it's always a good cause. And I think of, to borrow the phrase, what would Dennis do?
What would Dennis do?
He's behind kids 100%, always was. But, there's so many young people that never had the opportunity, of course, to be on the coach's show when he hosted, or never met him even. And you don't want that to die out. I mean, we knew him. I knew him pretty well, actually. We grew up in the same house. And
as a brother.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah, it's funny.
Now, who's the older sibling?
Oh, he was. Absolutely.
How many years between the two of you?
14 months. Actually. So we were pretty close. Yeah. Yeah. And,
do you always share a room?
Yeah, always.
Always.
Which we won't go into that, but there's some interesting stories for sure. But he used to throw his shoe at me in the middle of the night.
Were you snoring?
Because I was snoring.
Oh, good gravy.
But I would keep that shoe because I knew it was going back.
You don't
20 minutes later.
Arm him again.
Because he'd be snoring 20 minutes later. So, but he was legendary for that too, by the way. I should
Snoring.
Add. Oh, yeah.
His snoring was legendary.
It was.
I didn't know him in that way, so I'm going to have to take your word for it.
Well, we'd have bears come up in the middle of the night and knock on the door, because we thought maybe. But
that's a good one. I like that a lot.
But yeah, no, he was. The thing about it was he was always funny as a kid, and quick. That's the thing. He was quick. Now, I've said this before. The two funniest people I've ever known were he and my son Donovan.
For real?
Yeah, and they're both just that razor sharp, quick. I'm the kind that gets in the car and drives down the road. Oh man,
I should have.
Wished I'd thunk that 10 minutes ago.
No, you're right. The human brain, in the amount of time it's presented with a situation, your brain has to come up with the what's the punchline, and then you also have to filter it and say, would it be appropriate, or should I, or shouldn't I? And that process in my mind takes 20 times longer than it took for Dennis Weaver to do, obviously. And he would get that line out there and it would just snap you.
It wasn't that much work for him, but no. For us normal mortals, I guess it is. So
the brain power I've got.
You realize how wide open you left that door right there?
I know what I got. I'm doing the best I can with what I have right here.
Oh, ow, You want that back? Use it again.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
Start throwing
I
shoes.
meant over here.
Have to start throwing shoes again here, like me and Dennis used to do.
So Dennis would hate this. Would he hate it?
He would hate the attention on himself.
He would
He would
hate
love the work. He would love what's
the
happening.
work. True.
But he would just say, no. Because, I mean, you've heard him so many times on the coaches show and everything. There's people on TV, talk shows, different things. It's all about them.
Right.
You know. And the guests are kind of like, oh, you're here as my supporting cast kind of thing. And I can't stand that. Dennis really wanted young people to be made to feel special and like a star in a big league.
I think you're right.
And not just captain of the football team, not just the girls on the basketball team, but, you know,
swim team, cheerleaders.
Yeah. Wrestling
dance team. Yeah.
Trap team.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it would thrill him to death to know that the work's being continued and that the coaches show is being continued. Because, you know, he's like, you know, here's a kid who may be in middle school playing baseball or softball or whatever, or some kid who works his hind end off over here practicing wrestling, staying in shape, and they don't get the spotlight that some other kids may, you know. So I just know it thrilled him to death to say every kid needs to be recognized and appreciated and made to feel like a rock star. And no one could do it like he did. He just had that way.
He did have a way.
Yeah.
His own special way.
Yeah.
We are smack dab in the middle of the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon. We're asking for your donations. Please call 728-1320 and make a pledge. Venmo is Dream, the number 4, Weave. And if you know how to Venmo, you're supposed to know how that works. I don't know how.
Well, I can do it if I can do it. I mean,
I'm an old dinosaur PayPal.
Well, I'm older and dinosaur than you are.
I don't know.
Yeah, trust me, you are.
Let's talk about how many hours in the day did Weave have? Because it didn't seem like the same amount of hours the rest of us had in a day. What's your take on that?
It seemed to me like he had 42 hours in the day.
Right?
And let me say this personally, too. There was never a time where I'm trying not to.
It's okay to get emotional. I think this is so good for us to be able to talk about him and say his name and talk about how we feel.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yes, ma'am, I do. If little brother ever needed something, there was always somehow time for him to do that. And I can't begin to tell a lot of things, you know, that I can't even begin to go into. But he was just always there. He always looked after me, even when we were kids. You know, I mean, it was very much the older brother, little brother
and you're just
dynamic.
just 14 months apart.
Yeah. Well, people used to ask us a lot.
Are you twins?
We were twins, yeah.
I can see that.
We'd take turns, you know, taking off our shoe and throwing it out. But he pretty much taught me how to drive.
Did he?
Okay.
With not a lot of experience, apparently, because
no, but he was good. He was really good.
Was he?
And
was Weaver a good driver?
Yeah.
He said he was a good driver.
Yeah.
Who was?
Dennis Weaver was a good driver,
He
is
was.
what Terry is saying.
I mean, I got everywhere safely and back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really good, so.
But yeah, we were going a lot of stuff here or anything like that. But Dad was quite a bit older than Mom was, like 20 years. I don't know if you ever knew that.
I did not.
And by the time, this is crazy, okay? My dad was born in 1912.
Oh, my.
A month before the Titanic went down, Clarence Weaver was born. Not my granddaddy, not my great-granddaddy, my daddy. Okay.
Wow.
So he was almost 50 when Dennis was born, and then almost 51 when I came along. First-time parent at that age, if you can imagine.
Wow.
And here we are, children of the 70s, you know, growing up on Fat Albert and all that. So imagine the generation gap. We drove him crazy. But he was, you know, older and getting pretty much the invalid kind of stage. And mom passed away when Dennis was 15. I was 14. So he had learned to drive mostly from mom, and I had some, and most of mine was just, you know, pickup truck in the hayfield, up and down the gravel road, which still exists out there in Hickerson Station. But I hadn't had a lot of experience yet. And Dennis had his learner's permit, you know, before I did. So basically, he kind of took me under his wing and taught me how to really drive out on the road and everything. And that's just, when he passed away, I thought of that a lot. You know, different people had asked different things. What do you think about Dennis? And for some reason, that kept coming back to me, you know. And he got a job before I did, you know, worked at Three-Way Market out there on the old Tullahoma Highway for all through high school, pretty much. And, you know, jobs were harder to find back then. So my jobs were like working on the chicken farm and helping so-and-so haul hay and that type of stuff, you know. And if I ever was lucky enough to have a date, you know, he'd ask me, "You got money?"
Really?
Yeah. And there was something, well, you know, we'll probably go down there and split a large water and something like that. And he would always, there was never a loan. He would just say, "Here." And you try to think, "Oh, shut up. Just take it. Y'all have fun." You know, and very much the big brother, but always looking out. My kids loved him. They just absolutely adored him. From the time they were old enough to even recognize him, who he was, they loved Uncle Dennis.
Was there ever a kid that didn't just love him?
Not that I know of. And nobody tell me if there was.
I mean, all
the
the stories that we've heard today, folks he coached, folks he interviewed, folks he taught in school.
Yeah. My son is the writer, you know, that I wished I was. You know, he's just got that gift. And when Dennis passed, he posted something on Facebook, and he said that he did it as just a conversation, like he was talking to Dennis. And he didn't say, "Let me tell you something about my Uncle Dennis." He would just say, "Uncle Dennis, Uncle D, I remember this. I remember you did this. I remember you did that." And one of the things he said, "I remember you could enter a room and literally talk to anyone and everyone in that room. And people that you just met, you had a way of making them feel within seconds, making them smile and making them feel like they'd known you their whole life." And that's a gift that a lot of people don't have. And that's something that's unteachable.
I think he looked for a bridge.
Yeah.
With each individual.
And yeah, my kids, Amanda Miller now, with kids of her own, she he'd just come over and get down on the floor and she'd just crawl all over him. You know, when she was just not even learning how to walk, she would just crawl all over him. And he always had a special thing in his heart for her. And of course, Donovan, my son too, married, kids of his own. And he wrote about the time that Dennis took him to a game in Knoxville. And he said, "You know, you bought me a hat. You fed me till I couldn't even breathe." And we just had a great time. So I think they had more fun with him than they did me because, you know, I had to be the dad.
Well, all those rules.
Yeah, I know. But
yeah, uncles don't have rules. Uncles will give your kids cookies for breakfast. They don't care.
He used to tell them, either one of y'all ever get in trouble, which thankfully none of them did or have to this point, even though they're in their 30s. He said, "If you ever get in trouble, you can't call your mom and dad. Call me. I'll come bail you out, you know." And
It's a pretty good
Take you
offer.
home. He said, I'll kick your hind end all the way to the
Ah,
house.
there
But
you go.
I'll be there for you. So that was him. We were competitive growing up. Very competitive too. You play Monopoly.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was competitive.
Oh,
Or
well.
we spent a lot of time in the summer out playing wiffle ball in the yard. And those games you would have thought was Game 7 of the World Series, Red Sox and Cardinals or something, I mean, it was just.
So here's this guy who just can't get enough of sport, it seems. I mean,
Mhm.
from the outside looking in, here's this guy, Dennis Weaver, who can't, he wants to talk sports all the time. He wants to
Mhm.
watch sports all the time. He wants to eat, sleep, breathe it all the time.
Yeah.
So you're his brother, knew him best. What's his favorite sport?
Baseball. Because that's what was more of the sport that was associated with our younger childhood. I know it was Pop Warner and all that, but back when we were growing up, you played Little League ball.
Mhm.
Everybody played Little League.
Sure.
And he eventually did play football through junior high, and I think first year of high school. But and he loved football. He really did.
I thought you were going to say football.
Yeah, but I think down deep, I think baseball was his first love.
How about that?
I mean, I'm the same way, and my son's the same way. So my son-in-law likes basketball. Basketball interrupts hockey season. So I'm just not about it. I love March Madness, but yeah. But and here's the thing. I think he loved calling football games more than any other game.
Okay.
But as far as the sport itself, the whole thing with us, baseball is not just the game. It's more about the tradition, the generational connection. Going down through the years, fathers with their sons, and that type of thing. But if he was calling a Westwood soccer match, he did call that game like it was a coffee pot game.
Yes.
And it was always something. He brought me along a time or two to be a statistician and color man on some of the middle school football games.
Did you get in trouble?
We survived. No letters from the FCC that I'm aware of. But and that's when I first heard him do the Tullahoma, the Indian word for car wash. And I had to take my headset off because I just doubled over.
He's so funny.
I remember one kid from Tullahoma, he was running the ball and one of our guys just demolished him, nailed him. And he was talking about it. He said, I can't see who that is. I think that used to be number 22.
That quick wit.
Yeah.
So when you knew he was a sports broadcaster, you knew he was doing high school games, and then he had this concept that he wanted to do the hometown sports series, and it was middle school.
Yeah.
And so when you found out that he was going to call middle school games, what was your reaction?
Well,
because people don't do that, right?
Harkening back to my radio days, first thing I said, well, are you going to be able to sell that? You're going to
Amen.
get sponsors for that?
Because it doesn't happen if you can't sell it.
Right. And amazingly, it did. That was something that no one had ever really tapped into.
True.
And then after, see, that's genius right there. Okay. When nobody ever thinks of it, one person who's a visionary and at a level above what we are will do it. And then we all sit back and scratch our heads and said, well, that made perfect sense. Why didn't we do that before?
Perfect sense. And yet again, and it did sell, and it was sponsored, and it still is, and it's still happening here on the Thunder Radio airwaves. And
well, some people, this is what I like about it still continuing, Tiffany, because I heard, our Christian school administrator over there at Temple Baptist Christian School, Jeff Stewart, who loved Dennis like crazy. He used to say, some people leave an impression, other people make an impact. And that's what he's done.
I agree.
You make an impact when you see something that continues on and actually grows. And that's what he would have wanted. He wouldn't have wanted everything to just kind of, fizzle out and go away. He would have wanted to see it going. He would walk back in here now and say, "What y'all doing? Why aren't y'all doing this? Why aren't I started this, you let it go." And, y'all did a great job of keeping it going. And Josh and Holly doing a great job. And it's just blesses my gizzard to see it.
Blesses your gizzard.
Blesses my gizzard.
Terry
Yeah.
Weaver is our guest. This is Dennis Weaver's brother, and this is the Dream for You Foundation Radiothon. We are asking for your support. We are asking for your donations to help kids get in the game. The Dream for We Foundation gives scholarships and helps with fees and camps and equipment for kids so that a thing like money doesn't have to be in the way of them being able to participate with sports. And it's a terrific foundation. Yeah. And 728-1320 is our number. We're asking for your pledges. You can swing on by. We'll be here till 6 p.m. There are snacks. There is barbecue. What'd you have out there? What was fabulous?
I had some of Trey Adcock's
barbecue. Famous
pulled pork.
Famous.
And that grilled cream cheese stuff.
Was it good?
I thought it was something sweet. And I said, well, I shouldn't do this. And I popped that in there, and it was not sweet, but spicy and really good.
Pretty fun. So we've got snacks here.
Yeah, we got donuts left even.
Come on, and cupcakes, and there's all kinds of things. So swing on by and
I even cookies.
Come by,
bring your checkbook.
Bring a checkbook.
Bring your checkbook and get yourself a cookie.
Nice. So
you know what?
No.
Let me just tell you something here.
Tell me
this
something.
Is funny. You listening?
I am.
Okay, good. Feel like foghorn
It's
leghorn.
that Weaver wit.
Yeah. Look at me while I'm talking to you, son. We used to practice broadcasting when we were kids. I think we both
like
wanted.
What age?
9, 10, 11. He was competitive. Okay. Oh, heavens to mercy. He was competitive. I mean, we could be putting up an old cold drink can on top of a fence post and throwing rocks at it. And, it was like a UFC duel to the death, to see who was going to win. I wasn't about to let him beat me, and he wasn't about to let little brother beat him, But we, in the summertime, we played a lot of wiffle ball out in the yard. And just the two of us, we took out a spiral notebook and invented all these teams and had a league. We had lineups and everything, made up the names, had lineups. And this is weird, but we'd get out there and, we'd take turns every other inning. We would do, or like if I was, say, the Lions and he was the Sharks or whatever, he would do when the Sharks came up to bat, and I would do when the Lions came up to bat.
The play-by-play.
Yeah. And, now batting for the Lions, number 14, the second baseman, Joe Schlabotnik or whatever, and we would do that, the whole thing, and just practice on that. And I think we kind of had an eye on doing something in the future. Of course, he did a lot more with it than I did, but, it was fun. Kind of cut our teeth that way. And you could just tell even then, yeah, he's good. He's going to be good at this. And
he was the best. Just
he was.
Terrific.
He really was.
So did you get to listen to any of we've been on since 6 a.m., the Radiothon?
Yeah.
It's been going on. Have you been able to listen to any parts of it? I know you work.
Yeah. Out at one of our sponsors. Thank you, Urozu Automotive.
Oh, thank you, Urozu.
Of Tennessee Incorporated. I listened on the way to work this morning, and then my son called, and I'm like,
trying to listen.
Yeah, but he's in Chattanooga. I don't get to
That's
see him
all
all
right.
the time.
You got to talk to him when you can. Soak him up.
So I listened to part of it this morning, and then when I got off work and driving over here, and I was telling Ollie, this is the first time I'd ever heard those birthday things. I never knew that was y'all even done that.
We did that the one day. His birthday just happened to fall on a coach's show Saturday, and so we plugged all these ones in. There's another one where somebody was singing the happy birthday song to him. We got him good. We got him so good.
And I can imagine him sitting there
He
thinking,
was so mad.
y'all, you're taking time away from
He
the
was
show.
so mad.
Yeah, he would.
But we got him so good. So that was fun.
I remember I used to try to listen to him. If I was driving somewhere at night, try to tune if it's calling a basketball game or something. And maybe I shouldn't say this, but it's not bad. It's just funny. This is Dennis. He was calling the game in Shelbyville. And for some reason, I was over in I was at a men's meeting for church over there one night, and I was driving back listening to the game. And this one kid from Shelbyville, I forgot what his name was. It was like Don Quavius or something like that, And he was given the lineups, and he said, starting five for Shelbyville is, Ricky Smith and, Joe Johnson and Don Quavius, whatever. And he paused for a second, common spelling. I about drove off the road. I mean, that was just him,
So when you hear this radiothon and we get to say his name over and over and over again, and you hear people talking about the stories, how he touched their lives, their memories.
Yeah. Well, there's so much that I don't know. I mean, he had his life. I had mine. I don't know everybody that he knew, but so many people contacted me immediately after and still do. I have people at work come up. A guy just a couple of months ago. You Dennis Weaver's brother?
Are you Dennis Weaver's brother?
I had him. He's my math teacher back in high school. And I tried to, I said, really? Okay, you okay now? With therapy, maybe you'll be all right. And almost every single one of them, Tiffany would say, best teacher I ever had.
For real?
Or he was my favorite teacher I ever had.
Really?
And he taught math.
Nobody likes math, right?
Well, that's where we really diverge right there because I hate math.
Dennis Weaver was Mr. Spreadsheet.
Yeah, well, he had a math degree. He had a bachelor's degree in math. And, math's one thing, numbers are one thing. Then they start adding them letters in there. And when you mix the alphabet and numbers, that ain't math.
Sacrilegious.
It is. Thank you. If I could reach, I'd high five you right here, even with all them rings on. But I'll tell you one thing. Alante Taylor contacted me like a day or two after and was just absolutely bawling his eyes out and said, man, I love Dennis. I loved him, man. I can't believe this is happening, And somebody, I think it was at his memorial service, came up to me and said that they worked with him out at the base. And, a lot of times you'll have the office will get together and have lunch or something. Everybody will bring something in. You'll have a thing like that. Well, this fellow was had a lot of pretty serious food allergies and couldn't do those things very well because nobody thinks about that much.
Right.
More so now, thank goodness. But he said Dennis found out about that. And every other time that we did something, he would bring in a couple of, not just one thing, he would bring in 2 or 3 things that he knew that I could eat. And he said, you got to eat too. Aww. You're part of this group too. And we'll sit have you sitting over there and over to the side feeling left out, drinking a bottle of water, and
it's a great story.
That was Dennis. That was Dennis. And people felt the same about him at work as they did hearing him on the radio, the coach's show. And students that I can't even begin to tell you how many students that I've run across over the years. They'll just look at you, and you know what's coming, and they'll say, Are you Dennis Weaver's brother?
Well, they have to ask you that because the voice, I mean, come on.
Well,
you must get that all the time.
That even more so than anything, I guess. We sound more alike. He was better at using it than I am. But yeah, we pretty much sound alike. And I've kind of had fun with that over the years, back before caller ID. But hey, I'm Dennis's brother, so I learned from the best.
This is the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon. We go till 6 p.m. tonight. We're going to get you some updates on dollars raised so far. We're speaking with Terry Weaver, Terry Dennis Weaver's brother, and giving us some insight and some sneak peeks and telling us some of the old stories. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. He was, there was very many dull moments, even though we grew up in
He was
Hickerson
not a
Station.
dull guy.
No.
I'm going to give you
No.
that. He
No.
he knew how to liven things up, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I don't know. There's so much I could tell that's just really too much, personal on a family level. And I don't know. If you think about Christine, always keep her in your prayers. I worry about her.
We will do that.
She misses him terribly. And I try to stay in as regular contact with her as I can. She's in Murfreesboro now. And I'll call her, sis, how you doing? I'll text her. And many times she'll, mention about missing Dennis. And she even called him Weave. I don't know if I hardly ever heard her call him Dennis. And I mean, I don't call him Weave.
I call him Weave, Weavelicious, Weaverama, Weave Meister.
I'm not about to call him Weavelicious. I know him too well. But here's something else funny too. The people that went to high school with him. Okay, ask Gerald Ewell next time you see.
Did they go to high school together?
They were best friends.
I did not.
I think
know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they were thick as thieves. So. Gerald's got a lot of stories too. Maybe he can't share all of them either, but a lot of the people knew him from high school would always call him Disco. And I don't know if you know how that ever started, but
I don't think I know that story.
Well, back in the day, when I was in high school,
staying alive,
we used to listen to disco music. You young whippersnappers don't know what that is. But down at the Ada Wright Center, they always called it the barn back then.
Okay.
That was about all the rec center facilities there were in this town. And they would bring in this guy from Tullahoma, a DJ, called him the T-Town Iceman. Why can I remember that? I don't know what I had for breakfast this morning.
That's a smooth moniker, man.
And they would have dance down there. Well, they decided to somehow got the idea, we need to push this at the high school. Get somebody to make an announcement. And for whatever reason, they decided that Dennis should be the one to do it. And him and a guy named Russ Doyle, who graduated together, kind of sat down and wrote this out and said, let's just don't make it this rinky dink. Well, there's going to be a dance down at the barn this Saturday night. Here's the cost. Here's the time, all this. I mean, this is when his radio thing really took off. He took it and just, hey, all you guys and gals, come on out to the barn this Saturday night. He just really
got people's attention.
And one of the lines, and this shows you how old we are, tickets were $3 individual, and for a couple is $4. So they came up, and this was his catchphrase that he used to use all the time, and people love it. He'd say, tickets are only 3 bones stag, 4 bones drag. And I think of that so much when I hear that. And people still, years later would say stuff, hey, there's Disco. And so all these old buddies used to call him Disco.
Disco.
And Gerald will text me every now and then, And like Dennis's birthday, he say, hey, man, just thinking about Disco today.
Come on.
And yeah. And that's just cool.
That is cool.
Mm-hmm. He's like that Tupperware lid, that's always going to be there. You don't know what purpose it had at one point, but it was useful, but it's still there. And I'm just kidding. He will always be useful. He will always be relevant.
Throughout the day, Josh has been really creative in putting together some montages of Weaves calling a game and to get to hear his voice. It catches me every time. It gets me every time.
People have said that to me too. Remember the football game? I think it's when we got the Jumbotron, and they kind of inaugurated it.
Yes.
And did the video montage.
Yes.
In his voice. And I had people coming up to me at the stadium that night in tears and would come up and hug me and they say, I don't know how it was for you to hear his voice again like that, but for us, it was just, wow. Tell them thank you. Tell them thank you. And yeah, but of course, I hear his voice all the time. You know, if I do something, yeah, you're going to get me going too. I'll hear that voice in my head. You nuthead, what are you doing?
Is that what he would say?
Among other things. We, I don't know. It just so much, and you know. But to know that I'm tickled not only for what the foundation does, but honestly, I am just as thrilled to keep his legacy on a personal level going. Because you know, maybe I knew him better than anybody. Maybe you know, didn't know him like Christine. You know, knew him obviously, but I know how great he was. And there's some people that you come across. I'm sorry. There's some people you come across in your life and you say, you know what? Everybody ought to know that person. I wish everybody I know knew him.
If they didn't, they missed out.
Well, they did.
They did.
And I see and by the way, Josh does a great calling the games.
He does.
And, but I wish they could have sat down with him too, at the coach's show with Dennis. And I wish they could have took a road trip with him. I wish they could have spent an afternoon hauling hay with him. Well, maybe that's a stretch. Or going down and swimming at Normandy Lake or jumping off the Fire Lake Bridge or whatever all the crazy things we used to do, you know.
Well, my husband loved spending time with Dennis Weaver and had so much fun with him.
Dennis loved Rob. I mean, they were, I guess maybe at different times of his life. I know Dennis had best friends. I know Gerald, obviously in high school. And then in later years, I would have to say Rob. Seriously, he loved him. And Rob's a great guy.
Rob loved him right back.
Couldn't help it, I guess.
You're having a bromance. They were.
Yeah, I guess. And him and Coach Breeden, of course, you know, were tight for
certainly
all those years, you know. And here's a funny thing too. Coach Breeden, if you're listening, you know, just bear with me for a minute.
Uh-oh.
But I'll have, I met somebody the other day, a lady, probably in her 30s, and asked me, you know, are you Coach Weaver's brother?
Because she must have heard you speak.
Well, and she saw me, and, you know, that's the curse. But I used to call myself Weave Light, you know, but I can't say that much anymore. They would say, yeah, we played at Riverdale, played for him, you know, or at Coffee County. I've had both, even. I can be in Murfreesboro at the store, and somebody will walk up and say, you don't know me, but
certainly you must be related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would say, yeah, Coach Breeden, boy, he would just chew us up one side and down the other. And then we'll always be in tears, and here would come Weave and give us a bear hug.
Aww.
And he said, now, you're all right. You're going to be okay. But you need to listen to him. He chewed you out real good, but he was right. Just don't take it personally. You got this. I love you. He does too. We show it different.
The pep talk.
Yeah. Pull your socks up, put your glove on, get back out there. You're going to be all right.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Terry, thanks for being our guest here.
Hey, thank you. I'm sorry to hope it didn't slobber all over the microphone here, but
I don't use that microphone, so you can do whatever you want. We're good.
Well, I'm last in line today. Lord only knows what's on there, but mascara and everything else. But
we've got more Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon. We go till 6:00. We're asking for your help and your dollars. Pledge at 728-1320. Venmo is Dream, the number 4 Weave. And we just have had so many wonderful community partners today helping us do what we do.
Can I say one more thing?
I'd like you to say all the things.
Thank you for everything. Appreciate it. Appreciate you and Rob. Appreciate Johnny and Hosh. Jolly and Hosh.
Jolly and Hosh.
Wow.
It's been a long day. Jolly and Hosh.
Forklift fumes. Sorry. But I appreciate you and thank you. But if you would do me one favor.
Sure.
Push those rings down on your finger.
Would you leave me alone? Good gravy. Stick around and stay tuned. There's more to come on your hometown station.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
News. I'm John Saucier. Donald Trump's legal team out of luck in the classified documents case. Federal Judge Eileen Cannon has denied a motion to dismiss the charges based on unconstitutional vagueness. RNC co-chair Laura Trump on the Fox News channel says the GOP wants to reach as many voters as they possibly can.
This is a wide open tent, and the idea that this is a party closed off to anyone is false. We want everyone to come in. We want everyone to vote because we want everyone in this country to succeed.
Russian President Vladimir Putin threatening to consider using nuclear weapons if he felt Russia's sovereignty or independence was threatened. The Prime Minister of Latvia, Vika Salina, is telling Fox News she's very concerned about these comments.
To live with Russia and Vladimir Putin's autocratic regime in neighborhood, it's like living with an alcoholic in your neighbor. And it's very dangerous because you never know what will be next.
America's listening to Fox News.
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-1320. That's 931-728-1320.
Yes, final 10 minutes or so of what has been a 12-hour day on the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon. It's been a great day. We have collected a lot of money. Look, we've got 10 minutes left. Get those last-minute donations in. 728-1320. Got an operator standing by. Cash, check, Venmo, credit card. It's all available. Final guest. We did not want to leave without getting our final guest on. Carrie Munn, former Coffee County Lady Raider softball player. She scrambled home from practice today so she could spend just a few minutes with us and talk softball and just chat and catch up. Carrie, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Good to hear you. I'm not going to talk to you in a while. How have you been?
I'm good. We've just started our spring season, and every day is busy with softball and softball and practice and
I understand
everything.
Yeah,
So,
I try to log on about once a week if I can and check stats and results for MTSU, and I kind of spend like a day going and looking at the former athletes, whether it's basketball or softball or whatever. I know y'all aren't off to the best start win-loss wise, but it looks like you're throwing it pretty well. Talk about where you're at right now and what you're working on.
Yeah, so going into my junior year, I've just been doing a lot of growing and trying to really fit into the atmosphere and everything. And these past 2 years have been just a learning process. And every day I feel like I'm growing as a person. And last year we won our conference championship, and
yes,
that was a great time. And this year I'm just trying to still figure it out, and I just came off of a injury, so I'm still working back into it. But this year we just started our conference schedule, and this weekend we play La Tech at home. So yeah, just taking it day by day and just really just focusing in and trying to do my best every day.
Got to watch you a little bit last year on TV and pitching in some pretty big games. Talk about that experience and what it was like to get on the national stage. We talked to Coach Breeden this morning. He was a guest in the 7 o'clock hour, and he was talking about how it's really helped recruiting. It's put MTSU on a national level, and it's really helped him out on that side of things. Talk about it from a player's perspective.
Yeah, so last year I would say the biggest game for me was in our conference championship week, and I pitched against Charlotte, and our conference series didn't go too hot against them, and I knew that stepping into that game, I had to bring my best, and that whole night was it was a crazy night, and I felt like I grew a lot as a pitcher that night, and I really figured out like what I can actually do against some of those great teams out there. And Charlotte was a great team. They were headed on to the championship and everything. And so yeah, being on TV, like you don't really think about it once you're in the game. Once you're in the game, it's like go time. So yeah, I mean, I think this year, whenever I do go in, I'm going to keep doing my best and keep growing the game. And our team's great. We have great chemistry and everything, and we're just still trying to figure out everything. But overall, we're getting at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's no need to get nervous when you play on TV because you did play on Thunder Radio. So I don't know, that there's really any bigger stage than there. It's right there. Now, I don't care. We've had a couple of people on today from your graduating class. Like Jackson Vaughn was on a little bit earlier, and so people that kind of got a little bit of scholarship money that first year, and I don't know if you've kept up much. So I want to fill you in. That first year, we had a little bit of scholarship money to give out. It just wasn't much. I think the foundation just started. I think we had $4,000 total to give out, or $3,000, and we kind of divvied it up. I think you ended up with like $300 or something. It wasn't much, but the year after that, we were able to do $13,000. Last year, the foundation was able to do $23,000. This year, we're shooting for that $30,000 to $35,000 range for athletes that we're helping. So I just want you to know we're always going to have a special place for you because you're one of that first group, that kind of came through and was part of the Dream for We Foundation. And we keep an eye on you and see how you're doing, and we're proud of you and glad that you're doing a good job up there.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, We was such an amazing person and radio host, and I always remember him every game. It didn't matter if it was softball, volleyball, basketball. Every game he would be out there and just making each game so interesting and so exciting. And, he was just an awesome person. So I'm very, very glad that the scholarship money is increasing because it helped me out a lot going into college. I was grateful to even get the scholarship. So, yeah, I think it's amazing what y'all are doing, and hopefully it could keep increasing each year.
Absolutely. Well, just doing little things like spending, 5-10 minutes of your time after a long day of practice on the phone with us helps to make that happen because we brought in another $250 just since you've been on the phone. So we appreciate you spending some time with us. Carrie, I know you're tired. You had a long day. We're going to let you run, but thank you so much. And we're going to talk to you again next year. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
great
much.
day.
Thank you. That's Carrie Munn, former Coffee County Lady Raider pitcher and current MTSU junior, as a matter of fact. All right, so we're wrapping up the day. We're down to the final minutes. You could still jump in on the phones if you like, 728-1320. We got Holly across the way. We're going to get a count as to where we are. We've been here 12 hours. It's been a long day. We started at 6 o'clock this morning, and we're about to wrap up. I'm going to go find myself some ice cream. Holly, where are we? Let's get an update on where we are as we wrap up today on the Dream for We Foundation Radiothon.
So I got some messages that come through that said, let's finish out the day strong. Heather Phillips sent that message, and also another $100. So her donation just come in, as well as Katrina Verge, Mrs. Verge. She sent a donation in, as well as Bethany Arnold. Bud Riddle walks in, donates $500.
Thank you, Bud.
Thank you, Bud. Community Sod walks in, donates $100. That's going to put us at
final total for the day, unless somebody wants to add one more.
$13,185.
Nice. Well done, everybody.
Well done.
$13,185. I think we kind of all came in with a goal, or I did, when we first started about a month ago talking about it. I said $12,000. That's kind of where I would like to hit for us to hit the numbers that we would like for the foundation to hit this year. We had made some money on the border battle, And so I said, if we can get to 12, that's going to be the number we need to kind of hit our scholarship. So, barring anything else crazy, I think we're going to be in really good shape going into the Thundies. And look, if you just tuned in and you missed it, you could always donate to the foundation. Doesn't have to be on Radiothon Day. You can do it on Venmo, Dream for Weave, Dream the number 4 Weave. That goes straight to the Dream for Weave bank account. You can also go to thunder1320.com/Dream4Weave.
Jackson Ham. The sheriff, he sent in $15 more, so that gets us an even.
It's a round number.
$13,200.
13.2 for the day. Jackson Ham, thank you so much for doing that. That is quite the day for us. Quite the day for so much. Thanks to all the people who donated. We'll have a story tomorrow on all the people, the businesses that matched. Coffee County Bank, a big thanks to them. Carmine Family Dental, Reese's Jeans, Yorozu, Unity Medical Center, Steve Jernigan, Realtor. They did a lot of matching for us throughout the day. We had big donations come in, some $1,000 ones from some anonymous folks who are just good-hearted people. All of our workers, Ashley Parker, who spent a lot of the day here manning the phones, Trey Adcock for all the food, Chad Hatfield for helping out with all the food as well. Holly
Farrell.
Yes, Lachelle Farrell brought in cupcakes.
Ice.
Ice.
It's just been.
Kate Bryant brought us some mimosas.
Yeah.
So many volunteers. Sorry if we left your name out, but just thanks for helping out. I'm going to dangerously take a phone call because my phone operator just left.
Yeah.
I'm just going to answer the phone. Dream for Weave Foundation.
Hey, Pito, this is Terry.
Yes.
One thing I wanted to mention to Tiffany, if you could throw this in maybe, if not at the end here in the morning or whatever, is I wanted to push for folks to start making monthly donations.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't send in much, but if you set back $5 a week, it's $20 a month, $260 a year.
Yeah. It makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference. So, I think that's worth mentioning. So,
Absolutely. Thanks. Yes. Yeah. So you can do that. You can set up a monthly recurring payment on the website, dreamforweave.org. Just click on donate here and you can set up a monthly recurring draw. And we're glad to do that. We get another one.
No, but you know what? Dustin Murray just pointed out that our number ended in 1320 plus a couple more zeros.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, not anymore because Lucy Riddle has decided to donate $10.
Oh, Lucy, thank you.
Thank you so much to Lucy Riddle. She was another Dennis Weaver favorite. She a great soccer player here at Coffee County. So another $10 comes in. And we told you from the very beginning of the day, $5, $10, $20, doesn't matter. Every little bit counts. And we go over $13,200 for the day. Just thank you all so much for making that happen. 12 hours. 12 hours. It's been a long day. I'm going to take a break. We'll read more about this later at thunder1320.com. Holly, thank you for all of your hard work today. I heard your interview earlier. You did really good. You were great. You were great. I was listening. I was like, this is the best I've ever heard her sound on the radio.
You're just teasing.
No, you were great. You were
thank you. I learned from the best.
Yeah, well, more of us tomorrow morning on the morning show, maybe, if we show up. I don't know. We may take the day off. Who knows? I'm very tired. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being a part of it today. We'll get you over to the Ramsey Show.
Good evening, Coach Wyatt. How are you, sir?
Disco, how's my man doing, brother?
I love you. 3 seconds to go. Vincent across the timeline. Puts up a shot. She's fouled at the buzzer. She's fouled at the buzzer. The Tullahoma folks hate that, but that is poetic justice. She hits the first one. She hits the second one. She hits the third one. It is championship point for the Lady Raiders. Kaya Farrell set to serve it. Farrell, jump serve, back row, bad first pass. Lincoln County's got to free it over on 3, and it's a 2-touch pass. Coffee County gets the district championship on a 2-touch pass. Coffee County is your District 8 AAA champions. To the middle of the field, it's Amato. Outside the top of the 18, she's dribbling, trying to get it on her right foot. Can't do so. Drops it into the 18. With it, there's Jones. Jones, shot, far post. No!
You are listening to the Dream for Weave Foundation Radiothon on Thunder Radio. Dial to donate now. Every dollar helps. 931-728-3030.
Dad, Dave Ramsey, and I wrote a book, Smart Money, Smart Kids. This best-selling book is our no-nonsense approach to teaching kids and teens the basics of money. These money lessons are crucial to their financial future, especially right now in our debt-obsessed world. This book will set your whole family up for success and open up meaningful conversations with your kids around money, no matter how old they are. Go to the online store at RamseySolutions.com today to get your copy of Smart Money, Smart Kids. That's RamseySolutions.com.
Most people know me as the guy who did stupid with a lot of zeros on the end. I made my first $1 million in my 20s the wrong way and then went bankrupt. That's when I set out to learn God's ways of managing money and developed the Ramsey Baby Steps.